Hi, welcome to video games, in which I don't think a single person is here yet, which is fine. Hasn't happened in a while, but it's fine. People will filter in eventually. How you pals doing? He says, immediately after lamenting the fact that I don't think a single person is here. So I guess there's no reason to lollygag and not jump into the game. I was gonna make jokes about how it's wintertime, so now I'm obligated to be in weird, gross dad nightgown mode. But yeah, we're gonna play a video game real quick. Just a teensy one, just a little bit of one. My hair in the camera seems to look a little weird. It probably only looks weird when shrunk down super small, and solely because I am, weirdly critical of myself the way all people are. But yeah, we're gonna jump into the video game. It's a video game. It's Xenoblade Chronicles. I was gonna say the sequel. It's not the sequel. It is in a way a sequel. It is an epilogue. Welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected, a video game in which I did not mess with my equipment at all. Not even slightly between streams. Hopefully that'll be fine because thank you, Melia. One of the things they mentioned earlier was that the vast majority of that pretty much all the things you'll be getting in the field will just be cosmetic changes that have the same basic stats. And like, if that's the way it works, I'm sure it's fine. It doesn't expect you to have like dramatic armor enhancements. But yeah, welcome back. Last time we made it to Alchemoth and found out that the good old Fog King is impervious to anything we throw at it. So that's a bit of a no-go. We are currently supposed to be on our way to Grandel Ramparts in order to find some information about the fact that we can't hurt the Fog King. But instead, I'm kind of just wandering in a place that is the clear opposite of where we need to be, which is fine. Is fine. The game is okay with this. Right now, we're at the Forbidden Hushland, which I keep somehow reading as the Forbidden Husband. We're at the Forbidden Hushland, and we're just kind of vibing. There's a bunch of stuff down here. There's a quiet moment there. That's actually up on the plane above. There's a quiet moment here. There's a quiet moment there. There's some ether deposits. There's a quest thing over here. There's things to get. So basically here at the start, having a little bit of a weird beginning. Kind of just gonna vibe through the place, kill whatever decides it wants us dead, and grab the things we need. Then we'll presumably jump into story things. I might try to finish up the Poporo quest here at the start. If you don't remember, there's a quest to go and grab all of Poporo's favorites. There are just 20 like random things littered around the the place. There's not really a specific place it's littered around. I guess it's littered around the Biona's shoulder, but that's everywhere. So they're just all over the place, and we gotta get them. I don't know how many we have. A lot of the remaining ones are in the Grandel Ramparts. So I don't know how many we can get here at the start, but it is a couple, presumably. Oh god, we're at the point where we're all low on health. I mean, I guess this is what'll happen whenever we don't use Kino at all. Not even a bit. He did not see any use in the last stream, which is kind of sad. But he's the Sharla stand-in, and Sharla too was kind of bad. Okay, we've got a Union Strike. There's no reason to use it. It died before I would have even had a chance to use it, which is fine. I'm okay with this. Oh no! Coppa's quad wing. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies here, and they're pretty much leveled directly to us. So this will actually be mildly difficult. I'm wondering if this is a place this story is intended to drag me later. That's what Nene called Punspector power? Is that what she said? I think that's what she said. Because this DLC is a lot more condensed, obviously, in its geography compared to the main game, the progression has potential to be a lot different. Like, the next place I have to be is the Grandel Ramparts, so presumably I would have to, like, walk all the way there, somehow. Somehow, I would have to walk all the way there across land that I haven't been across yet, or at least that's how it would work in the main game. But because the place is so small, I've basically explored most of it. Like, there's a little bit up here that it looks like I haven't gone to, but I don't know how much that is. I think it's just this little sliver. Like this spot, judging from the map, this spot and the Grandel Ramparts themselves, only places I haven't been to. So once I want to proceed in the quest, I just need to literally teleport to this single landmark. So, all this to say, it is possible that the story will drag me this way again. And if so, I can just teleport to a landmark. I don't have to actually go through things. Which, at least the way I played the main game, wasn't usually how it worked. There were very few spots where, it was like, go here, and it was just a place I'd already been to, and I could just teleport. Usually because the place was so big, I hadn't gone there yet. Whereas here I made it, since it was small, I made it a point to basically discover everything I could toward the beginning. Okay, Jesus Christ, video game, what is it? Another quad wing? Which seem to be the only things that attack me on sight. No, as I say that, there's a Dinos in view, in the background. But these are flying, so I can't, like, see what their line of sight would roughly be, because they're so high up. So it's... haven't successfully dodged a single one of these. This backslash should kill it. Yep, we got it. Okay. Neato. Cracked claw. Onward we go. There's an ether deposit just up ahead, right here. There's also a big hole. Yep, that's what it is. Nothing further to note here. Yeah, the map doesn't indicate that there's anything there either. Just the edge of the Bionis shoulder. Oh, there's big things. Dinosaurus. Was that marked as a unique monster in the main game? I don't actually remember. I know it was a super strong monster that patrolled, Magna Forest, I believe, when we were at, like, level 30. Crawlus Lobos. I think both of these are, like, the super high-level monsters that were, wandering around, that I literally could not kill until, like, New Game Plus, or unless I came back. So it's neat that, the game, you know, uses the fact that you are at a high level here to throw those monsters at you again in a position where you can kill them without going out of your way to go back and, show how epic you are. Because that's the thing about whenever they throw those super high level monsters at you, like, they're really just things for you to dodge. You don't fight them unless you specifically want to 100% the game. Shit, I forgot today wasn't Sunday. Fair. Days be blending together. Hey, Gremlin, how you doing? We fighting Dinosauros. An enemy we encountered at, like, level 30 in the main game that we couldn't kill. But it went down in seconds here. How are you? What are we doing? Oh, that's like a mazy type thing up ahead. We're going for a mazy type thing up ahead, it seems. Just kind of wandering, not making any story progress just yet. Shulk's really feeling it. Yeah, you're the first one. No one's here yet. Say yet. Donnie and Thomas are both busy. They hanging out. He's really feeling it. When isn't he? All right. That was pretty decent. There's a red orb over there. I think that's one of Paporo's favorites. Another Crawlus Lobos. Cool. Judging from the map, I assumed that that was like really high up on a plane. Much farther above here. And that's not the case, which I'm glad about. I was pointing it out earlier, but other than the Grandel Ramparts, the town right here, I think this is the final like area of the shoulder that I actually have to actually explore. Story-wise, I'm sure we're not that close to finishing, but exploration-wise, until they throw something else at us, which I'm sure they will, like maybe one more area, one dungeony type thing to finish everything off. Other than that, it looks like we're very close to finishing exploration-wise. Didn't someone say this part's like 12 hours long? Yeah. And this is the third stream, so we've played roughly 6 hours of it. Granted, like the way streams be, if I'm just talking about a random thing, sometimes I won't be avidly playing the game and I'll just stop and be like, hey, you know this thing? So I don't know, it could take a couple more, like 2 more hours or an extra hour or whatever. But I do, based on that estimate, I do expect to have the game finished Monday. That's the hope, at least. Caustic Naquatra. And that's a unique monster. Maybe I shouldn't be here yet, but there is a... Quiet Moment's the new heart-to-heart, but I thought you didn't have affinity. Yeah, you don't have affinity, so the heart-to-hearts are exclusively based on story progress. So the ones that I can't view yet, it's just because I haven't made it far enough in the story. Ah, yeah. Worker Arachno. Is that a dead boy on the ground? Is that a... I see a sword. Is that a person or a creature? Is it like a humanoid sentient thing? Or is this just an enemy? I can't tell what I'm looking at here. Like, am I supposed to take this in and be like, oh god, this place is dangerous. Someone has died here before. Or is that just like scenery? Like, look, it's a dead version of one of the enemies you can kill here. I don't know. Director Arachno. I'm afraid to go for that unique monster. It's only one level above me, but it's got a spike on it. Maybe if I go in with Kino, go in with a healer, I'll do a little better. I'll do it. Take Melia. No. Nah, I'll take Nene. And put Kino in. Bye, Melia, I'm sorry. Shulk's our main damage dealer. Which we're gonna need here. But also, oh, I should be playing as Shulk because I need to purge this thing's aura. Is it an ether spike? Because I'm not taking any damage from it. Which is not a complaint. Not even slightly. Yeah, I'm attacking it and not really taking that much damage from it. Virgin Bite 7. Oh, I'm just dazed. Sometimes it'll do that. It'll just yell. It'll play the "someone is dead" music because one person's dazed and needs help. Like, we're fine, video game. I appreciate your worry, but we're okay. This is going decent. I have a feeling it wouldn't be if we didn't have Kino. These arts are taking a long time to recharge. Anyway, my history teacher heard me say the words, "I could beat up Ted Cruz any day," to my group on Friday, and just said, "And you get Mitch McConnell next?" And I changed my mind. I like U.S. history class. That's phenomenal. Can you get Mitch McConnell next? When you getting Tom Cotton? He's like an actual white supremacist. That's who that one is. It's going slowly, but we're doing it. Without too much trouble. I say that, I'm about to go down. Someone heal me. Where's Shulk? He needs encouragement. Kind of hard to miss Shulk. He's got a giant glowy blade. Okay. This red comet is not worth it. Look at this health. Ah! Yeah, we're fine. Looked for a second like it hadn't died yet. Okay, cool. We did it. Presumably got an art coin out of that. Which is nice and good and dandy and cool also. What's that one? Arachno Queen. Were we just fighting a unique Arachno Queen? I think so. There's a lot of things here. Yeah, this feels like the dungeon area. There's no way the game doesn't like tell us to go here later. Which might mean all these fights are redundant and I'll have to redo them. That would suck, but it'll be fine. Deputy Seagull. Deputy Beagle from Fallout New Vegas. Please laugh. We all know Deputy Beagle, right? Every single one of us. This is a very accessible reference. Fuck Tom Cotton, I forgot about that guy. Remember when his name was on like shortlists for Supreme Court nominee? I think so was Ted Cruz's. I should have dazed it. That actually would have been a better use of this. That's fine. Funny joke. Let me Google something. I mean, this did a lot of damage. And it looks like we're going to be able to daze it anyway. Never mind. Red Comet is always the right decision. You need very specific circumstances generally for the daze to be worth it. For the daze or the heal to be worth it. Generally, if you just go for 1 billion damage, you'll be fine. Granted, I do wonder how much of that is just the fact that I've been going out of my way to get all the Pun Specters. That might... Oh, that died fucking instantly. That might make Red Comet, I don't know, a little overpowered or something. Like, since I've been trying to 100% the game and I'm not using expert mode, 100% the epilogue. I keep wanting to call it DLC. It's not DLC. What am I trying to say? since I've been going for things and haven't specifically been using expert mode to level myself down, there's been a couple spots where it definitely seems like I'm over leveled. Oh God, I used the day's art before toppling it by accident. That's fine. Shulk's got it. But that cut his day's time by like a quarter. Can you be on me, please? I'm the tank. I'm the tank. Oh God, I'm toppled. This is going kind of poorly. My health is bad. It's the worst it could be. Yeah, I discovered the SNES feature on the Switch. Wow, A Link to the Past is good. Yeah, I streamed A Link to the Past. Oh God, probably this time last year now that I think about it. On the Switch. It was fun. This was the first time I played it. And then I immediately, it's very rare that I do this, that I stream 2 games in the same series back to back, but then I bought Link's Awakening immediately, the remake, and then streamed that. Did Link to the Past and Link's Awakening back to back. Both games I hadn't played through. Both very good. It's going bad. Magnum Charge takes a long time to refill. Got a very long cooldown. I like that I'm a wanted criminal. Wish they kept that in the Link Between Worlds. Oh, and then immediately after streaming Link's Awakening, I started playing Link Between Worlds on my own time. Never finished it, but I got the farthest I ever had. Oh, we lost. That sucks. Came real close there. Started playing Link Between Worlds. Got farthest that I've ever gotten in it, but still didn't finish it. I think I eventually realized I was kind of burnt out on the fact. On that style of Zelda, because that was my third 2D Zelda in a row that I was playing. God damn it! I gotta fight through all these again. There are many things here. Let's switch out party. I wonder what a no tank run here could do. Let's try it.
Now you shall witness all power. Witness true power of hero born in training.
Everyone, do your best.
I guess we're not gonna topple anything. No. I guess Shulk did it. Shulk can topple. It's just it's a very poor art that he uses for it. One with a very high cooldown. Or no, not cooldown. Very high. Very long animation. Takes a long time after hitting the button for it to actually take effect. God, we gotta get Shulk, please. Okay. And then I die instantly. Good thing we got that burst affinity. Link Between Worlds is good. I like to use it so my hands can do something while I listen to a podcast. 2D style is just good for that. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, what was I gonna say? It was really fun to play immediately after playing through Link to the Past all the way through, because I was right, because the terrain for the most part is basically identical. Even in low rule, like, a lot of the terrain is identical to the Dark World from from Link to the Past, and it was nice to see it. Like, it's always fun to like play another game that takes place in the same exact like geography of the one before it. I say that like that's a thing that happens frequently. No, that's a thing that I am imagining for the Breath of the Wild sequel that probably won't happen. What am I trying to say? It was just neat to like see where they decided to switch around some collectibles. Like, oh, here there was a piece of heart, but now there's this thing. Or be pleasantly surprised that a piece of heart is just in the same place. Well, our damage output seems to be a lot better. Yeah, Melee's doing pretty good damage. This has proven helpful. I'm barely even using the actual buffs that come from her elementals. Alright, should we daze it? Yeah, let's do it. Hold on, what went on there? I never, like, interrogated that, extra chance. Oh, yeah, this can happen. Okay, we're doing Red Comet then. What is the giant monkey? Yeah, that's what I was, like, hold on. They daze the enemy by luring another giant goggle into the fray to attack it? Dear Lord. Like, these are just a little extravagant. Oh, it's just dead. That did it. That's not a complaint, but just kind of happened. Well, progress has been made. Anything this way? Arena Orluga, Sabulum, Orluga, Sabulum. And a quaint little campfire. Okay, let's get him out.
Now you shall witness all power. Witness true power of hero born in training.
Everyone, do your best. Shadow Eye. Stream in. All right, I'm feeling it.
The hot dog hood finally showed up in my Animal Crossing New Horizons town today. Horizons town today, so my hot dog costume is finally complete. I didn't know there was a hot dog costume. That's kind of wonderful. Well, that died, and the other one didn't even join the fight?
Day without
Okay.
sweet wasabi is day too long.
I don't think
Now you shall witness all power.
I'm ready.
Witness true power of hero born in training.
Kino, do you have any other start battle quotes? How many times am I gonna hear witness true power of hero pawn in training?
Let us moving manifest yourself.
I'm really feeling it.
Do not hesitate, Shulk.
Good to see AI Shulk have the same delay problems I do.
Full power.
Nice job.
By the time he used Shaker Edge to try and daze the thing, it was no longer toppled, so daze doesn't do anything. It's a hierarchy. Break, which does nothing but enable you to topple, which knocks it over, but then you can daze it to extend the topple. He did not do that correctly. Trava Kromar, reading is hard. Heilhode, Amos Orluga. Whoa. Oh, this is one of those. I forgot these existed.
Power of hero born in training.
There's like drone type enemies essentially, like sentries that will alert other ones. I think it was supposed to alert the big Orlugas in here, though, and there was nothing, because it turned around as soon as it got to the campfire. Oh, custom design. Epic. I haven't messed with custom designs near as much as I should. Case in point, still don't have a town flag. We're gonna design a town flag on the Founders Day stream. The grand finale of my Animal Crossing series is gonna be when we make my town flag. Richard. Just a Richard flag. Possibly. Oh, my health's not great. Okay, I've been healed. You know, if we, at least judging from these fights, which might be going well just because we out-level most of the things, it's looking like this might actually be the optimal, party. Because we don't need a tank, really, whenever Shulk and Melee are just chewing through everything with, Kino as support. I don't know. Different parties have different merits. These fights just seem to be going a little quicker. I will say, without real chain attacks, a healer is kind of increasingly important. Because chain attacks are nice because they freeze the action and let you do a ton of damage all at once. And maybe get some heals in if you want, but do a ton of damage all at once without the enemy being able to do anything. And I guess that's true with the Pawn Spectre Union Strike. I don't know. For some reason, it just feels like healing is a lot more necessary here. No, that's because with the lack of visions, the enemies are like dealing way more damage through normal attacks that aren't telegraphed to you beforehand. So a lot of times, unless we are just using Monato's shield over and over, occasionally we'll just get hit by an attack that cuts everyone's health by 3/4. And then if you don't have a healer, you're basically fucked. Because Shulk works in a pinch on one person. Shulk's light heal can't heal the entire party if they're all doing poorly. Oh my god, it's a Partly. Hey, welcome. How you doing? You did a host. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's been a little slower than usual here at the start. But people are filtering in. Donnie and Thomas won't be showing up. That's the big absence. Alright, so we finally made it through. Well, there are things here. Thingamajigger 13, which is protected by a unique Ravager Apelpicea, which is level 77 and horrifying. Thank God there's a landmark here. Just got up. Epic. How are you? Pretty decent. Pretty good. Had a good lazy day. Since all I have left are exams, I don't have any like papers or homework assignments due. Technically, I have one that I'm shirking. That's the last assignment of one of my classes, but it's also a really low level thing that I'm just like, you know what? We're at the end. I don't care. I'm gonna vibe this weekend. But yeah, I've been able to just vibe today, which is nice, and I'm done Monday. So I am living. I am living the most that I have lived in the past several months. Apelpicea. Wow. Yeah, a level 77 enemy will do that. And the thing we have to kill isn't even the unique monster. It is behind the unique monster. Enemy's too strong? What does casual mode even do again? Let me, I don't remember. Lets you lower the difficulty of battles. Oh, is that it? Like how? Does it actively... No, don't enable that. Does it actively, like, lower their level? Do they just do less damage? Living is good. Living is good. Would recommend. Yeah, can I get these out of the way before having to deal with the unique monster? I mean, I don't think if we get into a fight with the unique monster that there's any way we actually win it. We're out leveled by 4. That said, if I couldn't lure the monster we need out of there, then we can complete the quest that way. I have my doubts, though. This might be a thing that we're intended to come back to later. I was saying that we don't have a lot left to properly explore in on the Bionis shoulder. Like, this is the last area that I can see, other than Grandel Ramparts. So I was saying it is fully possible that the main quest would have just taken me here naturally anyway, and I'm just doing it early. I don't know. Not totally sure what the progression here is, if I'm intended to be here yet at all. My guess would be no, considering we've been equally leveled to everything we've come through so far, and in most areas we're a little bit like 2 or so levels ahead of the standard enemies, and then it culminates in a fight that is 3 levels ahead of me. So, you know, not a good thing. Can I lure just the one? I can. Can I do this without engaging the unique monster at all?
Focus your attacks.
Also, this is a lizard thing. Why is it a thingamajigger? This seems like the same species as all the other lizard things we've fought so far. Why'd they call it the thingamajigger? Whoever the Nopon was, I don't remember. This is not an object. Don't objectify the lizard thing. Shulk even hitting it. Certainly wasn't toppling it. Thingamajigger, amazing. Do not see that, do not objectify the lizard thing. You know, fair. I don't have a rebuttal to that. I've never seen it written thingamajigger with a CK. I've seen thingamajig. Nonona's license. You know, I didn't expect that to work. We cleared out this room without engaging the unique monster at all. We're not going to engage the unique monster because last time we did that, it killed us instantly. Just absolutely no chance there. Does magic, thus it's a magicker. Potentially. I also find it funny that, like, clearly the Nopon, or that Nopon, didn't name all the other lizard things. Because they all had, like, your typical Xenoblade species names. And then that one, which looks identical to all the other ones, that's a thingamajigger. It is dark now. Can I get through here without growing anything? I have my doubts, but... No, we passed the tortas. Successfully. I'm gonna change the time, it's very dark. Hello there. No. Meh. At last, long-awaited desire of Nonona is fulfilled. Now present proof that friends wrested from grasp of one untidy and bring light to world of shambles. Eh? Friends understand words coming out of mouth of Nonona, but not meaning? Just give license of Nonona back, please. Cool, we did it. We got a poison attack from that. No! Since ancient times of immemory, brethren have sought to reach fabled yonderland. Only worthy Nopon may follow as adherents of Oracle 1-1. But Nonona see truthiness. Oracle 1-1 is savior chosen by old-time legacy. Memo that Nonona pick up an archaeology center said as much. Must be accurate, more or less. Find 1-1, bestow upon 1-1 this most divine revelation from beyond veil. Only then will door of feasibility open. Threads of fateliness, please to weave warble winding way. Wenderly. Okay, yes, that did translate to we have it now. Okay, so we have 9 out of the 12. By that metric, we're 3/4 of the way through. Learn the whereabouts of further pun specters. How many? Just the 1? 2. Okay. That is objectively most of the remaining ones. Also, why did I leave a marker here? What was that for? Oh, that was the fact that there was a pun specter there. I didn't speak to it, I don't think, but I saw it before being told about it. Why wasn't I able to do that? Because if I had gotten its quest, then that'd be marked red. Huh. Okay, I'll check that out in a second. I have 5 more of Paporo's favorites. 1 just vibing here, and the rest of the 4 are in the Grandel Ramparts. So after I check this out, we can proceed forward with the story. Oh god, I have to make the long trek around again. Again, these two landmarks are not on this top stretch of land here. I have to go here and then loop around, walk all this way. There's no closer landmark. I've made this trek many, many times now. Neck. Ow! I always go this way. You're supposed to walk around, like this is the path, and not... This is basically the railing of the path. But that's always where I jump up. Swirly slash. I don't know if it's just the nature of the fact that this has fewer quests, so therefore the quests they want to have a little more of an impact than the main game's quest, but there's far fewer in the way of fetch quests, to the point that it feels like the only reason to get most of this stuff is for the Collectopedia. I've only had like 1 quest so far, I think, where I successfully... Oh, wait! Hold on, that's a different thing. Where is the Pun Spectre? Is it on this land? Oh, yes. It's out there. Okay, we can get there. Now, what kept me from getting to it last time? Did I just, like... Wait, where is it? What... think I jumped down. Oh, that's right. I saw this from below. Even though I hadn't been told of its whereabouts, it did show me this little icon that's above his head. And it shows that from any angle. So that's how I saw. Okay. Hikasa. Also, I was wondering about these little stakes here that have been planted everywhere. I presume that's like for the Ponspector's survey project. Epic land surveying thing. Hikasa. Qualified, certified, though patience is severely tried. Ponspector Hikasa is named surveying new lands this game. Cannot certify in these conditions. If not, have stakes not equipped to do job. Really? As soon as I start talking about the stakes, they're like relevant to the discussion. Do I have to go and find these? What are you gonna ask of me? Friends must hear lament of Hikasa. In order to measure elevation of point, Hikasa used stakes for use as markers, drive stakes. But when come back to finally measure, stake is missing, and this recurrent issue, starting to go beyond joke. And Hikasa double triple check if securely driven in, so no blaming slip of mind or gust of wind or other such guff, capiche? That Nopon just said capiche. Sorry, Hikasa just eager to get quota done. We'll watch from high ground, so friends acquiesce to put stake back in? Plant Hikasa's stake on the lakeshore by the side of the junks. Okay. That seems simple. Hardest part of this quest seems like it'll probably be walking back up to here where Hikasa is. See stake with red top on left bank of lake? That one all fine. Problem is elsewhere. Keep up. There is tree on bank that neighbors bank with stake in it. Please plant stake in area under tree. That... See that Nopon vibrating aggressively? Okay. Yeah, that's very close to the junks. Would it be faster to go to the junks and swim over, or here and then walk over? It doesn't matter. Away we go. I should check the Collectopedia again at some point, since I just mentioned not needing all the items. This seems to be the correct spot. I did briefly fill in bits of the Collectopedia after the first stream, but I haven't checked it since. Stake seems to be embedded to the requisite depth. Thank you, Melia. And we gotta get back here. Which involves walking all that way. That's a little annoying. I do wish there was a landmark up here somewhere. That does not seem to be the case. But first, wrong menu. Collectopedia. 60%. Alchemoth has a very small Collectopedia. We did it. We completed category Valak skirt. Okay, cool. Went from 60 to 80. We need 4 more things. And then Alchemoth got just a couple. Didn't really have time to spend. Didn't have much time to spend in Alchemoth. Oh no, I did a gross. Oh no, I did a gross. Soda on the face. What will he do? Making this trek for the second time in 5 minutes. You know what? We'll make things different. And slightly slower. We'll go the way it wants me to go this time. That's right. I'm a changed man. Oh god. Nose itchy. Having a heated allergy moment. Which apparently affects my speech as well. By the time we finish this, are we going to be lower level than we were at the end of the main game? Like, I'm curious how far the levels span toward the end of this game, toward the end of the epilogue. Because by the end of Xenoblade, of the main game, I keep wanting to call it Xenoblade 1. This is still Xenoblade 1. But in my mind, for some reason, it's just registering, like, as a sequel. That's not what it is. In the original Xenoblade, I think Zanza was level 80 or so. And we were just below that. I think I finished the game at level 78 or somewhere in that region. Hello, friend. I did it. I was correct. The hardest part of this quest was making it back to you.
Yes? What now?
Hikasa saw! First wing witness to crime. Turkin face make off with steak. What is big idea, huh? No respect for honest labor. This reprehensible. Class warfare. Are the Turkins the 1%? Explain your logic here. Ugh, too much nerves for Hikasa. Need to take 5. Hikasa have no option but to outsource job to friends. Friends generous will hear request even without paperwork, Or are you the 1%? Are the Turkins the dirty working class protesters? What? Explain to me the scenario here. Based Nopon? Maybe not based Nopon. I don't know. Class warfare can be used as like a derogatory term from the bottom up. Oh, I remember Obama saying some like vague milquetoast democratic thing about just like needing to lift up poor people or something through like very minor stimulus things. I don't remember what the specific circumstances were, but Fox News said Obama was doing class warfare and that this is a bad thing. Hikasa have no option but to outsource job to friends. Friends generous will hear request even without paperwork. Friends will bash up bird brain oppressor and reclaim means of surveying. Listen, genocide is still genocide if you like, okay, he's not saying eradicate the whole species. We have been asked to eradicate the whole species before, though. Genocide is still genocide if you wrap it up in, like, working class terminology. The Nazis were not socialists, but they called themselves socialists for that very reason. Hikasa is a fascist. Feathered scab run off in direction of companion's cape. Friends pursue post haste. Okay. Where are we going? Where is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see any other quest markers. Genocide against a specific oppressive race. Xenoblade, no! Let's not think about it. Let's not think about it. Where am I going? Quest log. Hikasa's labor at stake. Defeat the thief in the higher reaches of Navir Highland to recover Hikasa's stolen steak. What was that? Ramrod Turkin. I don't see the... Oh, it's right here. Okay. We'll head there. Can do that pretty instantly. Again, hardest part, zooming around this place. That is one like odd side effect of the fact that the geography of the epilogue is, again, obviously more condensed, is that since you've explored the entire place and it is the only place to explore, there's not much to like move on to. If you progress in the story, it'll probably just tell you to go somewhere else here. As a result, it somehow feels longer to walk around for certain quests. Like, I have been here before. I have walked this land multiple times, and it is the only land to walk. So, you know, psychologically, even though I did the same kind of retreading multiple times in Xenoblade 1, for some reason here it feels more jarring. Like, usually, if you were going after a unique monster in the main game of Xenoblade, if you were going after a unique monster for a quest, it almost always involved you going into a cave or something and doing some level of exploration or dungeoning that I at least typically hadn't done yet. But here, because the geography is so small, it's so easy to get around and explore the whole place very quickly. As a result, by the time you get several quests, you've generally been in the area they want you to go, which objectively makes the quest faster, but also just means you're retreading ground. Not really a bad thing, just kind of a side effect. Well, I'm gonna die. You know, I didn't expect it to happen that quickly. Why did that go so poorly? I've been here before. I'm gonna switch out my party. Bye, Kino. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Switch up my party really has two meanings. Change who I'm playing as, or swap the single odd one out into the fight. I missed the burst affinity there. What am I doing? Oh, one of them runs off to alert scarier ones. That's when we started dying, I think. And there it is. Yeah, one of them has a very scary attack that we would usually have visions for. That's what it is. Again, the difficulty is... something weird is done to the difficulty in this game because there's no visions now, but the enemies still have attacks that are just as powerful as when you did have visions. In which case, maybe I should switch to Shulk so that I can use shield a bunch. You have to use, you gotta use defensive arts a lot more frequently in anticipation of these attacks, which is basically the same as you would during visions, except now you don't know when the attacks will happen specifically. You just know eventually it'll happen. Watcher Hode. Maybe we need to kill the Watcher Hode first next time. Perhaps that would help. Wow, I died. Right when I tried to use shields and save all the people. Oh my god. Why is this going so poorly? It's just because there's so many of them, I guess. Give that another try. Maybe kill the Watcher one beforehand. There's a bit of slowdown there. Did you catch it? Camera got all choppy. And it happened again. kill this one first.
Too short of our very best. Nay, nay, weather any storm. Did enemy feel lonely?
Nope, still got him. Wow, and I'm already dead? Jesus Christ. I've walked through here, I thought. Haven't I? Do I need to... Probably be easier to just take the other way. Actually, this is telling me to make the same, like, loop around that would take me through that path and make me fight those enemies anyway. Where is this thing? And why are those the only enemies here that are roughly my level? Like, I've been through here, and all of these are generally easy things that I now outlevel. Is that how the game expects you to get to this ether deposit? You just fall? Because there doesn't seem to be any other way up here. I mean, I'll take it. Not complaining. Yeah, I've been here. Fought through these goggles before. And the thing's out there. And there's a bunch of Turkins that I out-level. Alright, Chilkin. Which, aren't those just the Valak Mountain versions of Turkins? The ones that are out in the cold place? This is not a cold place. Chicken. Chicken. Alright, that's one down. Everyone else has been bound. I don't know why Shulk was immune to that. Not a complaint. Even the Pun Specters were bound. It's easy to forget that these are active participants in the fight too. Far weaker and ones that I have no level of control over, but they're there. They do exist. They are dealing damage just as I am. Ramrod Turkin. Here's our target. And that's down. Pointy Steak. Okay, so we got it. Are we gonna have to replace it again now? I hope not. Please tell me there's not that many stages to this quest, because, not because it would be bad for this quest to have multiple stages, but because reporting back to this Nopon is kind of tedious. I don't like making this super long walk over and over. I'm sorry. They should have put a landmark somewhere nearby. They probably did, and I just haven't discovered it. Pretty sky. Aurora Borealis. Please laugh. Aurora Borealis. And this time of the year. I'm gonna let you finish. Over this part of the Bionis. This part of the day. What was I gonna say? I was gonna acknowledge the total dead space that I am allowing to happen here, because this is long. Getting here sucks. Have I walked to the very end here though? Maybe not. Let's try it. See if there's any landmark. I imagine this is the end of the quest, so if there is a landmark, not much of a point, but it'll at least prove me wrong. I'd like to know whether or not they did think to put a landmark here, because it would be appreciated. Oh, I think one of Paporo's favorites was out here, and I did walk all the way out here. I think something was out here on this peninsula, I believe. So if I haven't discovered a landmark yet, there's not gonna... There it is! Video game. Video game. Okay, I'm the idiot. Granted, it was labeled as a secret area. I'm the problem. Would have been nice to have that earlier, but it is, I'm glad it's there. Because every time I had to make that walk, all that was going through my mind was, why didn't they put something up there? They had to know that to do this quest, you had to make this awkward, tedious, long trek, not once, but like 3 times. First to find the Pond Spectre, then to get back after the first stage, and then to get back after the second stage. That said, remarkably difficult to get up past that. Aurora Borealis, at this part of day, in this part of the Pioneers, localized entirely within your enemy encounter. May I see it? No. Hello, friend. Took a bit, but I'm here. Was Turkin punished in accordance with Pond Spectre Manual Section 7, Paragraph 12b? Good. What does the Pond Spectre Manual say about dealing horrific violence to wildlife? What? In accordance with the manual, I just slaughtered it and everyone it was with. I was gonna say everyone in its family. Presumably it was related to some of them. I just slaughtered it and its whole, like, I don't want to say tribe. Pack? Anyway, I slaughtered several creatures that are clearly sentient enough to, like, pull pranks and that kind of thing. So, that's cool. This is... The first time we had to kill a bunch of them, it was for, like, pranks, too. They were stealing, clothing from the refugee camp at Colony 6, and they were like, yeah, that's worth slaughtering the entire population. Steak of Hikasa is no doubt about. This steak of Hikasa is no doubt about. That is awkwardly written, but also, that's the point. However, why is it so unnaturally sharp and tapered? Is it maybe that Turkin planned to use it for a weapon? Such disrespect! Precious tool of trade for Hikasa. How can handle with such crudeness and intemperance? No self-awareness here. At least now can now finish measurements in peace. Friends, wait here just 1 minute. Okay, it's gonna go place the thing. Pond inspecting job complete. 5-star job if Hikasa say so herself. Okay. I don't know if I want you on my team. You seem unnecessarily violent. Hikasa's very senior Pond Inspector, long considered shoo-in for leadership position. Mostly by self, but still. But then Green Wing 1-1 get chosen for chief and select this middle of nowhere place for surveying. Stupid 1-1 tap at a pension fund of Hikasa and call it crowdfunding, then spend every last penny. Unbelievable. I mean, yeah, that's pretty terrible. Why do they throw a bunch of weird class stuff into Hikasa? This never happened before. Pond Inspector Guild have bylaws in place for a reason. Travel expense is never so high. We have a union that the chief is specifically acting in defiance of. When call 1-1 out at weekly meeting, he say their treasure on by on his shoulders, so not to worry about retire. But that is not problem. Problem is that follow rule and regulation to letter is what separate Nopon from Beast. Grr, bile of Hikasa boil when remember. Take Hikasa to 1-1 on double. Cool. 2 more. I know the location of 1. So, we're very close here. Very possible we'll find the rest of the Pun Specters here. Very scared of the whole race implication. Yeah! Yeah! Gotta fight our oppressors. What are the oppressors? The chickens. It's the chickens. Not like a specific class or anything. No, all the chickens. Is there anything else to do here? I don't think so. No quest markers left. There's like this one sliver here that I haven't explored. But that's the spot where you have to fight through all the hodes. Okay, so maybe there is a region here that I haven't checked, but we have no other quest markers for now. So I'm just gonna move straight to here. We got one of Poporo's favorites just like vibing out here, and then hi. Oh yeah, I fought you already. Shut up. Shut up. Nope, we're going. Nope. You're fast. Do I have to fight you? No, he gave up. Okay. One of Poporo's favorites was just like vibing out here and I didn't see it. Just a red orb sitting out in the open, in the middle of nowhere. Sure. Is that 2 item orbs like up here in a spot that is clearly not designed to walk on? Yeah. Yeah, it is. They said awkwardly jump around on the rock terrain. Ether Bunny-a. I want your ether.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
I will give my all, no matter the enemy. We'll be dead before forsake a plunge.
All right, I'm feeling
Okay, that's dead.
good shots.
Nay, need more! More! Let us hurry onwards.
Okay. So, we've been instructed, story-wise, to get to the Grandel Ramparts to gain more insight into the Fog King. That's what Tyrea told us to do. Was it Tyrea or was it Teelan? I don't remember. One of the two. Oh god, I'm moving my mic stand all over the place. Oh, that's a Homs soldier. Oh, is this the camp that the other settlement, like, separated from?
Greetings. We have heard from Teelan that a man called Radzim lives within these walls.
Ah, friends of Teelan's, are you?
Is that Dunban?
We've been expecting you. Go on, in you get.
No.
You're letting us straight through.
You don't look particularly concerning, is all. These walls are imposing, but they aren't here for controlling foot traffic. They're to keep savage monsters from having themselves a rampage.
God, I hate them savage monsters.
Most sensible. Well, we'll be going then.
Thankings! Sorry for time taking.
Hey, here we are. I remember that that other High Antia settlement was racist, but I don't remember who were they racist against specifically? Like, did they leave this place because there were Homs here? Oh, this is large. Okay, this isn't the settlement then. This is just a gate. In all honesty, each of us guards has to cover way too much ground by ourselves. Ever since the others left for the Cape, we've really not been able to run this ship as tightly as anyone would like. Interesting. God, there are so many Nopon. Alright, well, there's a quiet moment way out there. And a couple bunnets. All level 60? Why are they here? You start at level 60. What is your purpose? There's no way you'd be anywhere close to level 60 by the time you're here. I mean, it's fine. Not complaining that they're here. There's a quiet moment, but first, Agni's birthplace. Who's Agni? Pororo. I've been saying Paporo. Damn. 3 more. Let's check the quiet moment. Actually, collectibles, quiet moments. Can view. Okay, there are 2 that we've come across that we can view that we haven't. The unfortunate thing here is that it's going to be very hard to narrow them down. In the main game, it wasn't easy to find what they weren't like quests where you could easily match like what marker went to what quest. It just says, oh, there's one in this area that features these 2 people. Well, the whole area is the Bionis shoulder. So just telling me, oh, you can view 2 of these now. Like, that doesn't tell me much. There's a billion here. And I have to check each of them individually. Anyway. Can't view this one yet. Guessing toward the end, we're gonna just do a mad sweep of like 8 quiet moments at once. Here's an ether deposit up here, and that's Alchemoth. Hello. Where is it we're specifically trying to get to? Down here. So this is where the settlement's gonna be, judging from the fact that there's shops and things. I would really enjoy if my streams weren't constantly plagued by me, just doing... It's like, oh yeah, that's a very normal motion you're doing there, Cam. I really enjoy that we have to watch you do weird stuff with your neck every 3 seconds. Of course, the extension of that... Like a cat waking up. Of course, the extension of that is, wow, I just wish my neck didn't have pain, so I wasn't constantly doing... Like, it never feels straight. Also, how is it hot in this room? Hey, Google, what's the temperature outside?
The current temperature, remember, 47 degrees.
It's 47 degrees. Also, that said town name. Oh no. Probably didn't hear it. Didn't seem like it was super audible. Only half of that waveform came in. I think the noise gate like cut out a bunch of it. Who is out here to give me a quest? Is that just a random Nopon? Yeah. First I want this orb. Okay, hello. Yes. Shushu. Shushu's just looking at tree. If friends not need anything, please to get out of tuft of Shushu. Cannot tell anyone that fell from tree. Who ever heard of Nopon girl who can't climb trees? So embarrassed. Okay, I gotta play as Nene, I think. Gotta comfort the child. It not look like just looking at tree. Face almost pained expression. Words difficult. How you know? Nene have brother pawn of similar age, so learn to read all sorts of signs. Has something happened? Okay, well, Shushu loved to climb trees. Climb every tree in area, sometimes twice. But then Shushu stopped paying attention and get discovered by monsters. Luckily, managed to climb up this tree just in time to escape from attack. But then once monsters go away, Shushu breathes a sigh of relief so deep, slip off branch and fall down. That when Shushu get hurt and now cannot even move. And also, somehow, climb trees now feel scary dangerous. But who even hear of Nopon that not climb trees? I didn't know that was just like a thing about Nopon. They all climb trees. That's just a thing. I keep hitting my pop filter cord. That not even a little bit right. But first, should deal with Hurdy Hurdy. Heal Hurdy Hurdy is trivial part. Just need Peppity Herb. Herb. I'm American. I don't say herb. Except I do. Pretty frequently. I always instinctively read it as herb. And then I'm like, that's not right. But it is. But it's not. Different people say it differently. But Americans generally don't say herb. That's an herb. I was hosting trivia one night and the word herb showed up in a question and I said herb and then made fun of myself for like three minutes about it. Should not talk nonsense when Nene offer help. Americans don't say H. Yeah. Where find Peppity herb? Americans say herb. Which is odd. I don't know. There's a fucking H. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Curious what could have possibly led to that dialect thing. We don't say Herbert. Also true. But we say herb. Inclined to climb. Where is this? Oh, video game. There's a quiet moment there, so it's possible that that's one of the ones we need. So, also, was okay? There is a landmark nearby. I was gonna say, did I just like reverse a bunch of progress I made? Am I gonna have to walk a huge way again? Oh, okay, bad idea. Wait, how do I get in there? Okay, that's just an arch. Same way they're using words, you colonials. Americans don't spell things like color correctly. But see, that's a thing that, like, I can see why that would happen. Because, like, the pronunciation's just the same. The pronunciation's the same. It's more so just, like, a weird simplification that someone decided we had to do. But then, like, what? How did herb change pronunciation? What happened there? Peppity herb, okay. Quiet moment. Between the chillin'. You thing is actually capitalism. I don't know the actual story, but I have actually legitimately capitalism. I think I've read this story before, but I don't remember it. So do share. But yeah, that sounds familiar and right.
None here either. Why no one has sweet wasabi, nah?
Nah.
Kina always rants so frequent about sweet wasabi. Now head of Nene feel like full of sweet wasabi.
If you're not careful, he's gonna go for your head.
Mama, Kino desperate.
Where is this coming from?
Kino. Oh, Nene have good brainwave.
Good brainwave. We should start saying that. They're not ideas, they brainwaves.
Huh? Kino, beloved sweet wasabi of Kino. Kino should imaginate it. Imaginate. Exact. Love a Kino for sweet wasabi be put to test by how well can imaginate inside noggin.
This is dumb.
If start imaginate, Kino just get double of hungry. It's not problemo. If imaginate hard, will be like having sweet wasabi right in front of eyes.
Nope. Nope. Virtually no evidence to this.
From there, Nene have good plan of action. Trust insist upon. Mama? Okay then. Kino will trust. Alright. Talk Nene through it. What is shape of sweet wasabi? sweet wasabi is small, thin long, and also a bit lumpy. And what is color? Plancy, but to
Plancy.
It also looks twinkly, sparkly.
Those aren't colors. I mean, the first one implies green, but sparkle.
And then, what
I
smell
guess.
smell of?
The assumption is white, but like sparkle doesn't really refer to color. That's like a, I don't know, texture thing. It shimmers. I don't know.
Just from remember, Kino drool a little bit. Nene also drooling, if be honest. It almost like Kino tastes sweet wasabi, just like it here, even though not here.
Just imaginate that rent is paid. Then it will be like rent is paid.
Okay, next, time to eat imaginated sweet wasabi. But if just eat, atmosphere not quite right. Kino play Hieropod, and Nene be trusty psychic, who gathers sweet wasabi as tribute for Hieropod.
I don't like this. We never paid Ricky no tribute.
Nene will give Kino sweet wasabi, so Kino can eat and enjoy. Kino got it.
That was a weird, quiet moment. Nope, it's not over.
Meme, noble Kino.
Why is it the Colonel's theme?
Wasabi that
This song has been used multiple times, but this is the Colonel's theme in my head. I didn't hear a lick of that voice acting. Noble Kino, behold a sweet wasabi that Nene pick. Pleased to eat and be hearty.
Mama, this most delicious experience of eating life. Brave Kino, this unworthy psychic travel all across Bionis.
I hate this.
Even had to play tag with Rotbert one time. Sister Pon, that's amazing! Nene overcome many a scuffle scratch to obtain this sweet wasabi. Please to save a mouthfeel.
Please don't say mouthfeel.
Kino will. Kino eat every last bit, including steps.
Scarfle scoff. This is a certified Scarfle scoff moment.
How is flavor? Hereupon Kino.
Oh no, Nopon saying mouthfeel? No.
This. Meme? Kino needs few more bites.
This is a certified Snarfle gobble moment.
This.
I hate this roleplay.
Meme.
I didn't know this part of the song existed. It's never played that long, I don't think.
This just no can have any flavor. Meme. Kino. Lack of imaginating is fault. Could say what Nene want. No flavor is no flavor. Oh, brother pun.
I don't know what you expected.
Kino catch whiff. Smell of tasty morsel. Must be delicious snugglings nearby, Kino bat. Me? Kino thinks so too? Nene just thought hunger was catching. Mama, Sister Pon is good snuffler. All right, we go in search of tasty crumbles. Let's go.
Mitsugo!
Meh.
Meh! Wahoo! Ricky, I'm gonna punt your kids. That probably had an epic plosive moment, because his pop filter kind of sucks. Usually it doesn't matter because I'm not pointed at the microphone's pointed at me. my words go over it. But anyway, that was whack. I know the point was to get the siblings' relationship across, but that was weird. That felt unnecessary. That's why it's optional. Not really a legitimate criticism or complaint, but it's Ricky's theme. It does first show up at the kernel, but yeah, it's labeled as Ricky's theme. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it does play whenever you first acquire Ricky. That makes sense. And yeah, that fits Ricky's basic vibe. Actually, legitimately capitalism. Dictionary maker wanted to reduce the amount of letters to reduce cost. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't love that. There's another one. I like how there's just random quest givers like standing in fields. I guess we can pretty clearly tell by the fencing that this is supposed to be like people like growing crops here and training and things.
Hi there.
This is so strange. Where could it have gone? Been tending to these wheat fields, but for some reason the growth stimulant has mysteriously disappeared. We're struggling enough with the poor harvest as it is. Without that stimulant, I don't know what we'll do. Used to be Lanar who was in trouble. Who was in trouble? What? Brain. No, Brainwave's no good today. Who was in charge of managing the stimulant? But he's moved away from Grandel now. Kind of left us in the lurch here. Obviously, we need enough food if our community here is going to thrive. It'd be great if you could help us out if you're thinking of volunteering. Need you to collect high leaves and thick nectar for me. We can then process them in a growth stimulant. Okay. Thick nectar you can probably get from skeeters around Zen's thoroughfare when the weather's nice. Okay, yeah, no, I have more than enough high leaves, but the thick nectar only appears in queer weather. And by defeating skeeters. Okay, that shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, we got 5 of those. Let's turn in this quest. What are you doing? I guess farming, Grandel resident.
Hi there.
If we were still in the hidden village, I could have very easily developed a high-powered mechanical tiller. That's a machina. Oh, that's right. Wasn't it the machina specifically that the Hyentia left because of? Like, the Hyentia were generally, many of them, just racist in general. Like, they had their epic technologically developed civilization high above everything else. Literally calling themselves an empire when they claim exactly one city. And they didn't have to fight in the war against the Mechon and anything. And they just very clearly, just a general culture of looking down on basically everyone else on the Bionis. And so yeah, the fact that this settlement is both is Hyentia, Machina, and Homs. Yeah, there would be a faction that's like, no, we're cooler. Nene, bring Pepity herb. Shushu can relax now. Okay. How are feelings about tree climbing? Still maybe a bit scary. Mama! What's big shouty voice for? Shushu hears something. Paw steps of monsters that came after Shushu. They not give up on Shushu and come back to finish job. Shushu not want to get ate. Did enemies just like spawn and we have to kill them? Yes. Revenant Wolf. I read that as relevant Wolf. These are, in fact, relevant to the quest. This will go quickly. Definitely over leveled for some of the things here. We are 7 levels ahead of these things. Okay. This is why if you're a true comrade, you spell words correctly. Damn, I got some work I need to do. Need to work on myself for a bit. Nene is monster strong. Nene only so strong because friends fighting with, along with 10 pawn specters, some of which are racist. While also wrapping that racism up in a tidy working class bow. Literally fascists. Injury of Shushu also all heal up in time it took Nene to win Scuffle. That very good news. How about climbings? When Shushu watched Nene fighting, heart filled to bursting with courage. Now feel like could climb any tree again. Maybe not these trees. If climb here, monster may come again. That good thinking. Most important thing in tree climbings is feel safe and have fun. Cool and nice. Are we gonna watch him? Why are we doing this? Nene glad that Shushu back to be able to climb trees. You put a lot of effort into making sure of that, Nene. Shushu's injuries have almost healed now, fortunately. Say, Sister Pawn, why act so funny when talking about tree climbing? Have some big thoughts on topic of woody texture? I adore that sentence. Is because Nene is also afraid of climbing trees. I was not expecting character development to come out of this quest. Mainly because character development never comes from quests in Xenoblade. Quests are very intentionally designed to mostly be like things that just bounce off your brain. It's like, okay, go get this thing. Ignore all the dialogue as I hit A. The character development comes from all the other sources. Shock horror! Shock! Horror! Kino never knew. Not to get Nene wrong, once Nene loved to climb. When Nene was little Pawn, Dada Pawn would always watch over when going up trees. What is this Yoshi's Island soundtrack? As any good father should. Ricky, I tip my hat to you. Dada Pawn is great Dada Pawn for surely. But if love climbing, then why scared of it? Bark not worse than bite? Heh, bark. One time, Nene wanted to climb higher tree than ever before. Daring mission, set out all alone. Nene climbed like Nopon possessed. View from high up was best thing Nene ever saw. But when Nene glanced downward, suddenly realized how far away ground was. Once realized, could not unrealize, area of Tum Tum clench up like wing fist, and Nene turned stiff as board. Frozen stiff with frighten, could only cry and shout for Dada Pawn. Took whole day for Dada Pawn to come to rescue, and when Dada Pawn did come, he looked all rattery-tattery. Dada Pawn looked for Nene all that time. Oh dear, poor Sister Pawn. What a horrible ordeal it must have been. I'm shocked this isn't voiced. Nene not like that memory. It'd feel bitter, like licking brog. Do they cook brog in this universe? I imagine so, but also... just walk up to this living creature. My apologies. That why Nene not want any more Nopon to have fear of climb. Aw. But Nene, wouldn't you like to learn to climb trees again someday? After that day, Dada Pawn was kind and patient to Nene. Took a lot of time for practice climbing together. Nene okay with climbing trees of middle lowness now. Was many ropes to learn, but somehow Nene get there. But as soon as ground get too far away, bodies start to tremble and legs turn to fruit jelly. I don't think you have to force yourself. We all have things we're bad at, things we enjoy, and things we don't. Just keep going at your own pace. One day you may find yourself ready to try again. That always been guiding principle of Nene. I'm gonna watch her epically climb the tree. Do it. And anyway, even though day of climbing tall tree is bitter memory, Nene always cherished sight of Dada Pawn coming to rescue, like personal hero Pawn. I love how, again, I love how we're getting all this indirect characterization of Ricky through, like, his kids just describing things that... This music is Hero Pun theme slowed down. It did sound familiar. I didn't fully put it together, but I knew it was something. That's so cute. But it also sounded like Yoshi's Island at the start. There's another quiet moment out here. And an NPC. How many, okay, there's a Pun Spectre out here. There's one of, Panoro's favorites, not Paporo. I don't remember, I just know it's not Paporo. Hello. Is that just a wee babby out here? Hi, Antia, child. Nestinor. I come here for walks a lot. You gotta be careful of monsters, but the atmosphere's really nice. And you're the only one out here. Okay. Can't view this yet. Video game. Should I? Would it be terrible if I went out to that island right now before going any further with the story? Yeah, it probably would, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Surely there's a landmark somewhere around here. Tranquil Tarn. What is a tarn? What does that word mean? I'm gonna guess there's a landmark here just because it's got that big, like, big structure, big ruin thing that the landmark icon is based on. Yep, Prayer Rock. Citadel Tostega. What if I killed it? What if I killed it? Wouldn't that be cool? I didn't mess with my inventory, my party at all. We don't have Shulk here with us. Hello? I need to be the aggroed one. Gonna head to bed. I have to get up at like 5 to shovel tomorrow. Oh god! That's a thing I've never experienced. Occasionally I'll be like, man, it'd be nice to live in a colder place, cause like, you know, I just know I hate the heat. The heat is terrible. The heat is awful. I don't like it. But there's always that work that comes with it. Anyway, good night, Gremlin. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciated. How far are we? Hour 54. I have a feeling this isn't going to go super well. It's at the very least currently going very slowly. No one is going to undaze me. Okay. Thanks, fellas. Glad to know I could count on you. Oh, and there's no way to inflict break on this. That's why this is going so poorly. We can't topple it. Yeah, this party's not great. Combination of Nene and Kino works with Shulk, but not with Melia as the third one. I don't think. Verse Eater 9. Verse Eater? MC Citadel Tostega. Kino, you're the healer. Can you do the thing? Kind of hard to be the tank when no one's healing me. Where is Kino? Like, actually, where is he? Is he too far? No, he just healed me. It's going so slowly. But we are winning. Like, this looks like it is going to happen. Just a long ride. Yeah, look how slowly it takes damage. Okay, I'm definitely gonna use days on this. Finally! Point where it's not a question. Or a point where the question leads to a different answer than, a different answer from just use red comet, do 1 billion damage. Because I did 1 billion damage anyway. Oh, I was gonna try and extend the days. Didn't work. Yeah, wishing I brought Shulk into this fight. Bad party. Bad party. Okay, we did it though. And these will go down very quickly. Cool and nice. That was a lot.
If friends need rest, treatment of Kino is second to none.
I prepared myself for the worst.
And that's not the final Pawn Spectre, but it's the next to last one. And it's right across there, so let's go ahead and do that. Surely there's a landmark on this side too. Many Flammy. Game definitely intends me to have already gone to the settlement by now. I really am postponing all the story things. I don't know, it'd be, oh god, level 73. Terpiscorian Xenoth. Cool. Okay, this might not go well. We will likely die here. Most of them are pretty low level, but there's so many of them. But I guess once we get the stragglers out of the way, this will be fine. Should be. Not gonna bother toppling that. Last one. Last straggler. There's a bunch of others, but they aren't joining the fight. They'll probably join in later. We will hope not. Also, I didn't swap my party out. I spent all that time complaining, man, I should have Shulk, and then I didn't do anything. They call me the gamer. They're being sarcastic. Sword Drive with Magnum Charge does a lot of damage. The thing about Magnum Charge is that it takes forever to refill. The cooldown is very long. And I'm very dead. Someone help me. Thanks. Appreciate it. Gonna hold off on becoming the tank again until I'm healed. Melee is down, which means our damage output's like sliced. Kino, please heal me. Kino, how are we both below half HP? What are you doing? Is your cooldown really that bad? I don't remember Charla's being that bad. Also, I actually hadn't thought about what is Kino's talent art? Presumably he doesn't have like the... Okay, I'm down. That went poorly. It'll go just fine if we switch the party up. No, I'll take Melia. Let's do it again. Shouldn't be difficult this time, hopefully. We'll have way better damage output. You know what? Since I asked the question. Nope, mild down arts manual. Doze off. Diffuses the feeling of panic from overusing arts. Okay, it is the same as Charla's. I was gonna say, presumably, Kino doesn't have to deal with, like, my rifle's getting hotter. Nope. He still does. Here it is psychological. Yo, when did we get emo Shulk? Yeah, between we picked it up sometime in the first stream, and I swapped out the armor. No, I really just used healing gift on Kino, who was at full health, and healing gift sacrifices my health. So literally all I did was self-harm. Insane Screech. Okay, Shulk's down already. However, look at that. It's very close to half done. Damage is doing a lot better this time. Keep forgetting Melia has a spike art that I have inflicted. Have inflicted. What? That I can inflict? I've neglected it. Fellas, please. Oh, I can tell we're never getting a union strike on this if we all keep dying like this. That Pawn Spectre's over there just kind of vibing. Okay, bring Shulk back. I'm gonna use Healing Gift on Kino. Kino's gotta stay alive or we're fucked. Oh god, Kino's down. Okay, we're fucked then, basically. Alright, do we have enough in the party gauge? Yes. Okay. And then use Healing Gift to heal him. Okay, this could happen. It is possible. No, honestly, it's pretty likely. It's just, you know, it's been difficult. Oh, okay, that's dead. We did it. We have 7 arts coins. I could buy 7 arts manuals, which is a good few. Okay, the rest of these aren't aggressive. Thank God. Hello, friend. What do you want? Tutu. Qualified, certified, grace, and tact personified. Inspector Tutu is named surveying new lands this game. Friends are fans of Tutu. Sorry to disappoint, but right now Tutu too busy with trouble, not have time to autograph. Wow, that was a hard sentence to get through. Why? Also, you straight up just have the personality of Tutu from Animal Crossing. The possible jokes were entering through my head because Tutu is in VL in my Animal Crossing town. But you just are Tutu. friends are actually mega fans of Tutu? Did they... What was this intentional? Is this just a wacky, magnificent coincidence? Truth be told, Tutu dropped something very important on island in middle of Tranquil Tarn here. Very important hand mirror. And important because if Tutu not behold own gorgeousness one... Oh god. I can't read. Not behold own gorgeousness once in 3 minutes cannot work from desperate lonely. Is part of personality, currently staving off longing by behold in surface of lake, but gorgeousness much diminished. And that when fan friends come in. Please go to Piddly Island for Tutu. Find Precious Mirror also for Tutu. Is that just that little one that we've been to? Yes. Okay, first we're gonna get one of Panora's favorites over here. I think it's the last one? Aerith Hiln. Is there going to be an in-lore explanation as to why this specific region has as much genetic diversity as the entire, as the entirety of the Bionis? This is just a rogues gallery of basically every enemy that we fought in the main game, exclusively here on the Bionis shoulder. I didn't notice, was that the 19th one of Panora's favorites, or was that the last one? I think there's some in the town. Yeah, one more in the town, I think. Quite a quest you had for me here. Let's swim back. Presumably the difficulty there, the intention was you would have to fight through that Torta to get to that. But I already did that. Yeah, none of these are aggressive. Hello. Quest finished. I like your entourage of flamingos here. Tutu thank friends for fetching mirror. Now can finally focus on ponspecting. Ponspecting. As thanks, Tutu will share untold story of how ponspectors were formulated. Long ago, Tutu and few comrades surveyed numberless lands on behalf of Archaeology Center and Frontier Village. As fame spread far and wide, more and more comrades apply to join until Guild of Professional Ponspectors come into be. Neme, now that Tutu have chance to take good look, is that face of Tentu that Tutu see looking back? What if we didn't have Tentu? Wait, Tentu was the first one, wasn't it? Tentu is the single one that we have to have by this point, presumably. Why not say sooner? If friends have Tentu in tow, then must mean everyone goal is aligned. Tutu come seek 1-1 also. Cool and nice. Yellow team. We got one more. We got one more, friends. Where? Is it Chief 1-1? Is that supposed to be the last one? Oh god, I'm scared for when we find Chief 1-1 and it says, oh no, there's 12 more you gotta go find. Well, we did all the things that, all the questy things that are dragging us into this region of the area, but there seems to be a bridge up ahead that'll lead somewhere. So we might as well explore the remainder of this region we found ourselves in before we head to the town. And it looks like with that bridge, it'll just loop around and we'll be able to make it to town anyway. Who is out here? Hero's Rest. Oh no, is this gonna have sad moment?
Hello, dearie.
We all of us here know people who have perished holding onto a single thought, leaving behind unresolved regrets. All we can hope is that now at least they can rest in peace. We did indeed have a sad moment. There's a quiet moment up to the left there. We'll check that out. Probably find out that we can't access it. That is how this game be a lot of the time. Oh, so we're very close to the town. After this, we'll be able to just hop, skip, and a jump over there. We will be able to hop, skip, and a jump. That's, we'll pretend that was correct. What's that? Red Antol? Weak. The weak deserve to perish.
Don't get careless, guys.
What? You know more than enough for this.
Doing a casual ableism while playing Xenoblade Chronicles.
Could have knocked that one out.
Nice job.
Sharp Antol Jaw. We did get a weapon from that. Can't view it. Really? What do you want from me? Oh, there's the last Ponspector. Just vibing outside town. Okay. Grandel. What does ramparts actually mean? Because this region be the Grandel Ramparts. This be Grandel. Hello. 1-1.
Just want nap.
Qualified, certified, rest is classified. Ponspector Chief 1-1 is name, overseas surveying new lands is game. What Ponspector's all doing with these stranger people? More important, why it takes so long for everyone to gather in appointed meeting spot? Nah, never received such information? 1-1 forget to impart? Oh, 1-1 would go to find Ponspectors and make up for omission own selves, but have wings full with other business. Meh, have idea. Could friends guide rest of Ponspectors to meeting spot? Probably all stuck in stranger sticky situation. Friends look like doing fine job so far. Surely is no extra bother. Gather the other 11. We did it. 1-1 should be done with business by time Ponspector's all here. I doubt it. Can see someone to have word with 1-1, but we'll have to wait till everyone here. Naturally, there's little reward in store for helping 1-1. We did it. Return to 1-1. Well, I hope these extra 2 seconds I gave you, you were able to finish up your business. Meh, Ponspector's all in one place. Such a rich feeling of fulfillment. Oh, is fulfillment spelled differently too? Between the UK and the US? I'm pretty sure fulfillment in the US is 2 L's. Or, I guess 3 L's, but 2 L's at the, at the end of fulfill. But that was spelled with 1. Truth is, 1-1 still not actually ready yet. No throwing fit of tantrum. Is no need to sweat minor details. Just hear 1-1 out. While travel along Clear Sky Bluff, 1-1 gets set upon by band of cut-purse Igna who steal important memo. Without information contained in memo, ultimate purpose of Ponspector cannot be fulfilled to full. 1-1 beg of friends on own honor as chief. Please to retrieve memo. Okay, do we have to go kill a thing? Get back the memo from the cut-purse Igna north of Clear Sky Bluff. Okay. Interesting. Where is that? Where's Clear Sky Bluff? Here? Did it say north of Clear Sky Bluff? Like the one place I haven't been yet? Let's check the quest log on that. How many quests do we have? There's the 1-1. The 1-1-1 is what I was about to say. Lost and found. Okay, there's Peroro's favorites. I need 1 more. And then New Way of Life. Ah, that's right. The Skeeters at Zen's Thoroughfare. Those I think I'll go back for those, but the reason I checked the quest log in the first place. Priority 1-1. I get it. It's like Priority 1. It's funny. That gives me a jolly. Now, where is this? Up here. Okay, I have walked there. We'll get there eventually. We're actually going to make some story progress now. Grandel Approach. So very close to the final Pun Spectre, but not all of them. Oh, handling noise, sorry.
Nene, look! What splendid armor! Oh, it's true! Scales so shiny and sparkling!
We're admiring these? We've killed how many?
It looks the same as any Armu, if you ask me.
Shh.
Different subtle. Sure is.
Really?
Pardon me?
Well, we will never find out what the difference is. It's just too subtle for our eyes. I bet the model is completely identical. There's no way it's any different.
Have you come from Companion's Cape, by any chance?
We've just come from the laboratory. But we were at the Cape just before that.
And was everyone there all right?
Yes, it seemed to me.
Thank goodness. That's a relief to hear.
Is something wrong?
You may be aware, but originally, we all lived here together as a group.
She sounds vaguely like Fiora.
But then, some left because there are Machina here.
Exactly. At first, we managed to tolerate each other in relative harmony. Obviously, we had our share of friction.
What happened?
Well, the final straw was something trivial. The Companions tried all sorts of ploys to retake the capital, but none of the plans succeeded. Many soldiers were lost this way. One Machina had had enough and told them to just give up.
And that's when it happened.
Yeah. They shouted, if you rust rats hadn't betrayed us, we wouldn't have lost our brethren and our homes in the first place. Things got heated, and then they left and didn't look back.
They shouldn't have forgotten that we all lost friends, family, and homes.
They're soldiers, ma'am. In the war, they put everything on the line for their country. And so,
when their country was taken from them, the extent of their anger and resentment was fully understandable.
However, racism bad.
yes. Still, we who stayed behind don't bear them any grudges. They protected us all, for a long time regardless of race. And bear in mind, in the end, they didn't cast the Machina out. They left the safety of our walls of their own volition.
Okay. Okay. Leaving for racist reasons, I guess, is materially better than kicking out the people you are racist toward. But they're still both racist. Please don't be like, at least it wasn't this far worse kind of racism.
That's why we pledged that if they chose to return, we'd welcome them back and meet them with a smile.
I will do whatever is in my power to make it so.
Nene, why eyes sweating? Inflammation of tear ducts.
By the way, we have heard that someone by the name of Radsum lives here.
Radsum? Yes, he lives over there.
You know, right there.
Over there.
Yep. Right in there. See him? He's like ducking behind a boulder.
Very kind.
It was Radsum, actually. He was the one who told the Companions to give up their quest.
Right. I see.
All right. Let's go and see him straight away.
Yes, let's.
I don't remember why specifically we were pointed in the direction of this man. Is it just he has info for us?
What's up?
Guys fighting monsters on the walls have it bad, sure, but maintaining order here in town is no picnic either. If it's not someone hating on how High Antia talk, it's someone stubbing their toe against a machina or Nappa on overeating. Don't get me started on the stupid fights us Homs have between ourselves. I fear for this community, I really do. So does it make sense that the epilogue of Xenoblade would deal with the kind of predictable fallout that would happen when you shove a bunch of completely different communities together? Because that's kind of what Shulk did in the New World. It's like, oh, Colony 9 is now a place where all of these completely different races and communities now live in harmony. What's that? We did no adjustment to the history of said races, so they still all hate each other? Well, that's a shame. Get over it. Which, yes, get over it. But, you know, I just hadn't considered. That is kind of an inherent fallout that would come out of the world that Shulk created. So it is neat that the epilogue deals with that a little. No arts manuals. Those are all at Companion's Cape? Okay. Well, I don't want to buy these. Suppose I should look at the armor at some point. Oh, Grand Arch. Okay. Suppose you should look at the armor at some point, but no. What is this over here? What is this? I think it's the last of Panora's favorites. So let me enable that as an active quest. Yes. Oh my god. That's at the very top of the village, it looks like. Okay. Gonna be a hot second before we can find that. Feast eyes on brand new product. Special discount while stock lasts. Thank you, Obama. Laugh. Alright, this is Radzum. Time to get us a history lesson.
Are you perchance Radzum?
Yeah, that's me. How do you know my name?
Teelan mentioned you. You are his fellow researcher.
Oh, I see. Teelan sent you. Him and Tyree are still getting on okay?
Quite. Though she did give him a good scolding earlier.
Went to Alchemoth again, did he? I did warn him not to be reckless. But when it comes to his research, that boy has tunnel vision. To be honest, so does Tyree.
Tunnel space vision. Tunnel vision.
Does she come here much as well?
No, hardly ever. She's even more focused on the work than Teelan. I couldn't begin to guess why she's so driven.
Melia
It
could.
must be about her mother after all.
Radzum, we have questions. About the Fog King.
I see. That's why you're so curious.
That's a weird fade out.
We need more to go on. What can you tell us?
Because of the Telethia's ether field, the Fog King and his fog beasts seem, well, unable to escape Alchemoth.
Etherfield.
Okay, so Teelan was correct. I mean, not that I doubted him, but we now have a reason that Teelan was correct whenever he said, oh, they can't leave Alchemoth.
Yeah, it's the means by which Telethia eliminate any excess ether that they absorb. Now, the Fog King and his beasts happen to give off an awful lot of ether.
I see. So all Telethia in the vicinity flock there, to feed on the ether. And, as a result, keep the threat contained.
Oh, this hot noggin of Kino.
It's not that confusing. They have ether. Telethia go to get ether, but Telethia mean and scary, so it keeps them in.
It get worse if not shut up.
She's
But
threatened to
why?
hit him.
It worked against fog beasts, but not the Fog King. Or rather, it didn't even seem to make direct contact with him.
Shulk, Melia, would you do me a favor and head to Teelan's lab, borrow his Telethia research notes for me?
Sure, we can do that for you.
There's something I'd like to look up about the Telethia's ether field.
Understood.
On another note, we heard that you spoke out against the companions.
I voiced an opinion, yes. I can understand their impatience. Their ancestral home was right there. However, I couldn't abide watching them throw away more lives for nothing.
Nothing. Sounds quite stark.
At first, there were hundreds of us living here.
And now you're like the third one that we've seen.
But now, well, you've seen for yourselves.
And all because of the Fog King.
Yeah. So I think you can see why I said what I said. If we end up extinct, we'll have won nothing.
Well spoken. But I'm sure the companions would find those words hard to swallow.
Yeah, they did. They left because they were racist.
I'm sorry. Your people are no more free to go home than we are.
No need for you to apologize, Melia. In truth, it's not costing me any sleep. They seem to be catching on too. After all, they've stayed put since then.
This is true. They were the
When you
first
put
ones
it
to
like
be like,
that.
nope, don't do that. Don't go there. It was Maxis, I think. Don't go to Alchemoth. You'll fucking die.
The people of Grandel, they're living under considerable strain. Not knowing what became of their homes. And with no means of return.
But that's also true of Maxis. His people lost their homes too.
Yes. But they're feeling desperate, and it's making them unreasonable.
It too sad.
We were like that too once, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
That true?
But we learned, eventually. All because we wanted to protect the world. And we made that dream a reality. We brought down Zanza.
Remember the game? I sure don't.
Overcoming our prejudice gave us strength in unity. Because we shared a goal.
Radzum's folk, the companions, and us as well.
You know, I completely forgot that, like, one of the themes that was emphasized early on was that our group was made up of a combination of Hams, Hyentia, and Napon. I guess Mekon, if you consider Fiora, but that doesn't count. She's still a Hams at heart. Like, one of the big things was, oh my god, look how diverse our group is. Did you know racism bad? I don't intend to, like, simplify or make fun of the themes.
We all share the same goal.
Because they're not bad themes. That one isn't, at least.
Defeating the Fog King and returning home.
Sounds like job for Hero Punkino. Just let Nene at him.
Thank you, everyone.
Mama, what that thing?
Oh no, is it John? There he is.
Is that?
John?
It's like the one we saw in Alchemoth, but much, much larger.
Oh god, where is it?
You're right.
Shulk, let's see if we can get closer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's over Alchemoth. Okay. See if we can get closer. Are we going to... We're going to Alchemoth. That's where we're going. That I can't say that's what I expected. Where I expected the game to point me. I hope you know that I'm almost certainly not heading that way immediately. Well, first there's a quiet moment here, which we can't view yet. That was frequent in the main game too, but dear lord. There's a couple of them here. Alright. Nah, it's a little hard to get up. I'm gonna change the time. It's already hard to get up, but this darkness isn't helping. There we are. That helps a lot. You good, Nene? Or Kano, I don't know which one it was. Get up there. Okay, thank you. Fall again. Get up here. I'm shocked at how much the game, like, demands that you deal with its weird, awkward geometry here. There've been a couple spots like that. Shushu. A dream of Shushu to one day climb every tree in world. Shushu makes start on that by climbing every tree in Grandel. Think big, start small. But much fear of monster attack, so is not really a climb safe environment. Oh, I thought you were giving me a quest. Anyway, hi again, Shushu. Eternal Zenith. I wonder if I'll successfully, Hi, where are you wanting me to go? Oh, it's down there. I wonder if I'll successfully, discover every landmark. Because I don't think I did that in any location in the main game. But if you discover every landmark in an area, it'll automatically fill in the whole map for you. Which is pretty nice, because like by the time you've gotten every location, you've virtually covered the whole map anyway. I'm trying to get out of here. Is it to the left? I'm trying to get the last of Panoro's favorites. We got 19 of them. Quest is very close to complete. And then there's a bunch of quests that we can pick up here, though presumably that's in the main town. We're gonna just chat with folks. Chat with the pals, the gamers. Hello. Seems like it's lacking punch. Anything else we could use? You want something from me? Your face is kind of have that look. Alright, I see. That sounds rough. And you came from Companion's Cape? Then, I've got a question for you. On your way to Grandel, did you come across any hard-looking rock or rare materials or anything like that? Probably. Saw some... Oh. Oh. I did see some ether deposits. Yeah, I know all about those. We have a few of them in Grandel as well. Oh, well, still. Thanks for telling me about that. I've got something to talk to you about as well, if that's okay. What would that have changed? Like, is that gonna have any effect on what quest he gives me, or is it just like the single line that he follows that up with? That didn't seem like it affected a ton. I'm curious what it would have. Currently making tools for those fixing and expanding the ramparts, and I'd like to make them stronger. That's why I've been asking after better materials. Well, actually, I've got an idea, but I'll need a catalyst to make it work. Not tough enough to track it down by myself, but since you knew all kinds of other materials, I figured, you know, say, now that I think about it, couldn't I just ask you lot to get it and bring it to me? That'd be way easier, right? Cerulean Shard near the Baru Ruins Cave. As for your reward, maybe I could upgrade any tools you're carrying while I'm working on ours? Like that ether pick, okay. Bet I could strengthen it to improve the output so you could mine better stuff. Not too shabby, eh? Cool, sure. Dandy. Let me get single orb up this hill that is remarkably difficult to climb up. Cars. Cars.
Are you that?
Have you been acquainted with Lady Winnie? She's a Homs who fled here from Alchemoth. That Nopon was having a time. Did you see in the bottom middle? very worried for her when we first arrived in Grandel. She was broken physically and spiritually. She devotes herself to looking after the Armus these days, and she tries to put on a brave face, but I can tell. Sometimes there's this most vulnerable look in her eyes, and I find it really rather compelling. Yeah, I don't like that. Wow, she's so sad.
It compels me.
Just want to look after her, alright? Make sure she's safe. This place is complex. Spirally.
Hey.
Selzatana. Mind if I ask for a spot of help? I could really use an assist right now. Yeah, sure. I skipped that dialogue by complete accident. Doing our best to keep things tidy, but with the march of time, the rubble starts to pile up. We'd like nothing more than to clear it out, but with our numbers, we can't shift the heavy stuff. That's where you come in. Hoverstone. Okay, I've gotten, I think, 3 of those. Please ask for 3. It's a mineral with levitational properties. If we could lift the rubble using that, a few pairs of hands would suffice. 2 of 3. Okay. Well, that won't be hard. 3 pieces should be enough to make our work swift and easy. And the last one to pick up here, it looks like Helmeline. Won't somebody hear my woes? If only someone around here knew about machines, they'd understand my concerns, surely.
Yeah, okay.
Water heater. No popping.
Oh.
Water Popinski. Oh, can I help you? Sorry to bother you. I saw those mechanical parts and figured we might be able to use them to fix the junks. I like how the way that the game tells you switch to Shulk for this one is by reading the character's thought bubbles, info that the characters you're playing as have no access to. Very disappointing. Everything you see here is little more than scrap. Can you tell me what parts you're looking for specifically? Wiring to link up generator, drive system, as well as something to reinforce the hull. Sounds rather complicated. That said, I do have an inkling. You've seen Hyentia airships before, right? Well, there are a few crashed ones in Alchemoth just lying there. You think I could strip them for parts? Just so. Although I don't know what state they're in, you'll have to go and work that out for yourselves. Would have investigated them myself, but everyone else warned me off, saying it's too dangerous, so I relented. Still, from what I remember of my preliminary study, I think there should be 3 of the machines left. I have a request to go with all that. There are actually some parts I need too. Would you mind terribly finding them for me and bringing them all back together? Yeah. Investigate the airship. Level 65. Wow. I feel like I've done a lot more than you're expected to have done by the time you actually get to the town. Palm-sized cog. Interesting. Okay. Well, I need to find this last thing. Like, look at that mess of dots there. Like, where is this path telling me to go? I assume it's, like, up there. It is up there. I see it. Okay, maybe once I'm up there, I can actually figure this out. Since the quest markers, you know, just kind of shows up there. In 3D space. What am I doing? Come on. Okay. Climb uppeth. I'll just walk, like, toward it as best as I can. Celine. Okay, I didn't end up here. Great view of Alchemoth from here. Dialogue. I need to process the sentence for a split second before I start reading it. Until we came to the shoulder, I'd always lived inside Alchemoth. It was really weird seeing the outside for the first time. Okay, cool. So I take it I need to walk up the spiral again. It's what the pathing tells me. In very uncertain, shoved together terms. But like once I got up here, I was still confused as to what it wanted from me. Because it sure seemed like it wanted me to jump off a cliff. I don't know if I acknowledged that, but that seemed to be its wishes. Cam, where is my black coffee cup? I didn't take it. It wasn't me. Ask Johnny. I'm sure he knows. Hi, Donnie. How you doing? We walking up awkward level geometry, as we do in this game. There have been a couple developments, but I'll save you. For now, since really we're just doing random quests at the moment. Hi! Why is this spot the way it is? Let me up. Let me up, video game. This part is very, very strange. So it wants me to dive off, like into that water. So I guess we're gonna do that. We'll survive, I think. Yeah, we're good. That's how water works in this game. And now, it's telling me to go elsewhere, but there's this little cave thing here. Oh, a giant's trove. Cool, that's the second one I found. Heatsink 4. I wonder how many of those there are. I suppose that would count as 100%. That would be included in 100%ing this, but I'm not gonna bother with that. I mean, when I say I'm 100% this, I just mean I'm gonna do all the quests to the best of my abilities. I'm not gonna go out of my way to like fight unique monsters that I've missed or anything like that. I found it. Panoro's final favorite, Pororo. First I was saying Paporo, then it was Panoro. It is Pororo. Gee willikers. Okay, well that's done. I gotta turn it in way up here. For now. Quest log. Don't set that as active. What should we set as active? New way of life? No. Investigate airship in the vicinity of Alchemoth's main entrance. That's roughly where we need to go for the main quest too. So I'll hold off on that for now. Baru Ruins Cave. Where? Right here. That's just a hop, skip, and just a hop, jump, and a skip travel. Haha. What is this? I have no idea what that is. Scapular Lance. That's probably the final hoverstone. That actually looks like it'll be really easy to grab. I don't know why I'm like deliberating on where I need to go. There's still 2 quests here that I need to pick up. 2 friends to speak to. Hope you find your coffee cup, Donnie. Hello there, Arara. Man, can't find Heropon, can't find Guarantor either. If Arara recall, designated Guarantor was young bird lady? Okay, I'll switch to Melia. You there, bird person! Arara, remember you? You are Guarantor of Heropon! A Guarantor? I don't know what you mean. No use denying, Arara not find Heropon Ricky anywhere, so we'll have to extract repayment from designated Guarantor. Is Ricky in debt to this person? And Ricky said, just talk to Melia for all my financial needs. Wanna know what that entails? Standard way of repayment is, drum roll. This is how drum rolls work. By provision of dessert. Specifically, Arara is after dessert that is bigger than Arara. Sweet, golden, springy, and also tender. Find 7 kilo pumpkins, of which I have found 10, so that works. Ask Thad and Grandel to prepare the dessert. Okay, also need to find a single sweet cherry. Very good, very good. Firstly, friends will need bucket load of kilo pumpkin. Lucky for friends, they grow everywhere on Bionis' shoulder. But more importantly, need literal cherry on top of dessert. Only sweet cherry from banks of tranquil tarn will do. And finally, skill of chef also paramount. Error not accept unless dessert made by artisan with Alchemoth level of experience. Okay. I'll get to that one day. Suppose that's actually like the closest thing. Tranquil Tarn is right here. Right out there, apparently. Hello, child. Angela. I don't really know how to talk to grown-ups. Sorry. It's easier talking to kids, though. A little bit. Okay, switch to Kino. I like how in this specific town they decided to shove all the quests together that require you to talk to someone as a specific person. God, all these hero pawn. Hero pawn, not pawn. There's only one hero pawn. Well, maybe Kino will be one someday. Not now. Hello. Oh, friend is shy too? Huh? Must be shy like Kino. You have same smell as Kino, so is matter of fact. Yeah, I get kind of nervous easily. It's no fun playing on my own. Then what if Kino found friend for friend to play with? Really? I'd love that. Leave everything to Kino. We'll search town for bestest possible friend. Make sure everyone happy. Any possible friendlings already in mind? Friendlings. Celine looking out at the capital once. Well, we know where Celine is. There's a boy called Nestinor. I only ever talked to him once, but he lives near a lake, I think. I know where that is also. There's this super cute Nopon Rudodo. I don't recognize that one. I always wanted to talk to her. She seems to like ruins and stuff. Okay, find all of them. Okay, so that added a bunch of things to the inside of the town. So Nestinor, I'm pretty sure, is this exclamation point, this marker. This will be the sweet cherry. This is Celine, and I suppose this is Rudodo. First we'll go for Celine. I know where that one is. Roughly. Climb up bits and pieces here. The bits and pieces of the town. That's how people refer to geography, yes?
Come and see.
Hey, you! Please to go become friend of Angela. Should be much more fun with more than alone. More than alone. You want me to be friends with Angela? Yeah, alright, I was getting bored of playing on my own anyway. Tell her I'll come and play. Yeah, alright. I was getting bored. And then, just outside Grandel Approach, I'm gonna guess, is Rudodo, given that this is a bunch of ruins everywhere. Hello.
Me?
Friendship. Rawr, rawr! Rudodo is fearsome dino beast! Please to play or Rudodo will eat our face! Question before eating a face. Friend know Angela? Because so happen Angela is looking for a new friend. And also, doesn't value her face very much. How about go talk to? Rudodo know Angela! Is Hum Hum Girl not wrong? Rudodo enroll Hum Hum in Dino War! Rawr, rawr, rawr! Enroll with one L? Is that a dialect thing? Did the US add an L to enroll? Or is it a typo? It could be a typo. It is fully possible it's a typo. Okay, so there's two things over here. I'll hop, skip, and a swim over. Please ignore the Tostega. Ignore the Totino's pizza. The Tostitos chips. Rudodo might just be stupid and somehow verbally misspelled enroll. Also possible. Aerith Hiln. So to the right here, I think will be the sweet cherry that we need for Arara. The one who Ricky is in debt to. didn't pay enough attention to this, or didn't draw enough attention to this. I adore how one of our quests in this epilogue is literally deal with one of the many debts that Ricky is in. When Ricky isn't even here. Okay, this is Nestinor. Good morrow, Wings. Kino in process of look for new friends for Angela. What friend think? Know who Angela is? Angela? Yeah, I know her. We only talked once, I think, but I've been wanting to hang out with her. That dialogue didn't match the tone I gave it. I wanted to give a tone of, sure, I don't care. Quiet moment. Is this available yet? No. Okay, and then we need to turn that in to Angela, and then we can leave town, I think. Just go vibe on the shoulder. A normal sentence. We've done it. We've gathered the gang.
Uh-oh.
I finally have friends. Everyone says they're gonna play with me. I'm so happy. Thank you, Kino. Thank you so much. Aw, it nothing. Was all piece of pollen cake for Kino. Just ask Kino for second helping of help anytime. Here, have this, and let's play together sometime, okay? Here, have this. Child hands you set of armor. Also, $15,000. They're decidedly not equivalent to dollars. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so story-wise, we need to head toward where we teleported to Alchemoth, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go right here, because I need to pick a thing up that's like 2 feet away from the landmark here. Is there just a hoverstone vibing behind this? Yep. That's what this is. That's done. Man, maybe I should be nice to kids more often. They'll give you armor and money. I just love how that favor we just did was like a contractual actual job. Actual labor that we were paid for. Zetor X. Are those... Wait. Those aren't aggressive? Were they aggressive? A Grove Quadwing is still labeled as aggressive. Okay, those weren't. Which is interesting, because those are the scariest things here, because they have a topple spike. That's not a topple spike, that's just a spike. Alright, we're gonna go to Pororo. A name that I finally said correctly at the end of their quest line. Go to Pororo and hand over some things. Man, friends friends find some of Pororo's fave. Show Pororo, please. Oh, that's right. This quest happens in increments. So there's a reward for 10. Nostalgic rucksack and nostalgic anklet. 20,000 gold. 15. Quick step 6. Sorry. Quick step gem. Thank God. Like the best quick step gem, I think. All 20. Pororo's favorite, all safely returned. Pororo not know how to express elation. Congrats for days and days. Friends did unbelievable job and deserve unbelievable reward. This will be worse than the quick step 6 gem. I guarantee you the quick step 6 gem is the thing I'm going to be excited most about here. 50,000 gold and debuff resist. We never learned the actual circumstances of that. Pororo wanted their favorite, the 20 of their favorite, which to our eyes were just things in bags we didn't open, I think, to deliver to their esteemed person. Don't know the circumstances behind that. Not one lick or split. Fun fact, I have a rough draft of a project due tonight that I'm totally gonna shirk until later because I'm tired and there's no way I can just put together a rough draft for a whole ass project. Fair. Understandable. I can't wait till the semester's just done. Feel that. Feel that. Psychologically, it's already done for me, but I do have an exam on Monday. But then I'm done. Thank fuck. Didn't have it. I didn't have many big projects. I had a research paper that was due before Thanksgiving break. For one of my classes, they basically made what would be considered the final in any other class. Basically made that due before Thanksgiving, so that the end was just kind of a coast. Which honestly I like structurally. Get the bulk of the work out of the way before final season to make it easier on your students during the parts where every other class is demanding all the super high stakes stuff. I liked that. I appreciated that. However, that means psychologically all the other things we're doing in that class no longer feel important. I had my last proper class day for that. This is my sociology class. I had my last proper class day on Thursday for that, and I have one last assignment that is literally pick a quote out from one of our readings, and wait, did I get the thing? Was it just vibing? Did I just like casually walk into the thing without realizing? Let me check this quest. Hold on. Anyway, yeah, I grabbed it without even realizing as I was talking about things. This is how Xenoblade is. Anyway, psychologically, I now no longer care about the last assignment that I have in that class, which is literally pick out a quote from a reading and do like a paragraph of reflection about it. It's like, I don't care. That was a weekly assignment that we had to do for the entire semester for like virtually every reading we did was do one teensy bit of reflection on it. Have not cared and care so little about it now. Good God, I have so much to do tomorrow and Monday. Oh no. My the last thing I have anything for is I have a Zoom activity. I don't know what that is because all our classes are in Zoom. I have a Zoom activity in my philosophy class during our normal class time on Monday. And then that's our final thing for that class. We have no final. And then for my Holocaust studies class, I have like one thing that I think is also just a reflection on a reading of our choosing that is a total of 300 words. That's the final. Like, that is referred to as the final. That is 15% of our grade. It is 300 words. You look a lot dusty from the road. Any chance you have my catalyst? Yeah, cerulean shard. Yes, that's it. Thanks bunches. That's not a phrase I expected to come out of anyone's face in this game. Thanks bunches. I knew I was onto something when I asked you lot for help. Right, let's get to the good part. Lend me your ether pick, won't you? Oh yeah, we get an upgrade on that so we can get better gems. Sorry to keep you waiting. Kept you waiting, huh? What do you think, huh? Sleek form factor, right? You can feel the power at a distance. There are ether deposits in Grandel too, so feel free to test the improvements out for yourselves. Cool. That's a pretty good reward. Reinforced ether pick. That's also the only reward. Dandy. There's a lot of quests in this game that just don't give you any experience whatsoever. I barely ever pay attention to the quest rewards when I'm given quests. Like, I'm just doing quests for the sake of doing the quests, and like, I'll get rewards naturally, and I'll just find out between streams how much I've accumulated. But some quests only give you money and no experience. Some are the other way around. It's honestly kind of rare, at least from my perception, kind of rare for it to be a combination of the two. Anyway, there's a quiet moment out in the distant there. Out in the distance that I gotta go to. So far, this is kind of shocking. My first 3 semesters of college, I've had very little in the way of finals. Like, we do have like final exams and projects and things like that, but no one, I've said this before, no one uses the allotted like finals week. So I'm done by the time finals week begins generally. This semester in particular, been taking it a little bit easy. Hello, I'm Pinhead, Impinhead. How you doing? Welcome. We're just kind of vibing out on the Bionis shoulder. This is my 3rd stream of Future Connected. Where are we in the story? Barely even remember. We're on our way to Alchemoth for the 2nd time, I think. investigate the second rift. I just kind of assume when new people show up that like they know a decent amount of what's going on with Xenoblade, and that's why they're here. But you know, first time using Twitch, really interesting. I'm glad to be part of that first time. How are you? How's it? How is said first time going? Dadapon's gift.
Shulk, looky look. Plenty of trees growing.
Plenty of tree.
Looks like this area isn't very heavily cultivated. That might be why nature runs so rampant.
Big step for Noppon. Kino make this into Frontier Village Mark II.
Kino do a colonialism.
Frontier Village, huh? I was amazed first time I saw it. All the pollen factories, built into that giant tree.
Noppon never use metal if can be helped.
Is that just like a cultural thing, or is there like a wacky reason for it?
Except for Sisterpon, who like use hum-hum shields very much.
Oh,
Because
right.
they had to write that for
It's
her to
true,
be a
though.
Rhine substitute.
Ricky never did use a metal weapon. It looked more like a fruit of some kind.
Kino here, this is actually gunberry that store ether with.
Gunberry? Gunberry. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Oh god, I gotta click the thing. I don't have an easy way of clearing my Streamlabs notifications. I always gotta like lean awkwardly to my mouse.
Kino just make it suck in ether, and then it shoot out contents like real rifle.
Is that right? I'm not sure I've ever seen a berry that big.
They
before.
definitely invented the concept of a gunberry so that this could be a substitute for Charla's rifle. That's because he's just got Charla's moveset. Good stream choices. First pick TBH. Oh, thanks.
Indeedy. Kino never see one lying around before, that for sure.
You ever circumvent the invention of gunpowder firearms by using a wacky fruit?
The plants that bear them must be very rare. I knew biters, but I didn't know you had curiosities like these.
Translation: they weren't written until they wrote the epilogue. Weird retrofit for the canon. Yeah, it's a little odd.
Well, biter's still more popular. Little Pond Kino also want to use biter, but no beef on wings, so could not carry properly. But then, when Kino gets in big sulk, Dadapon go and pick Gumberry from somewhere.
Ricky did. So he can be a model father. I'm impressed.
Yes, Dadapon is true hero pon. This weapon only used now by Noppon 2 Wimpy to hold biter, but Dadapon was first one to discover.
Only used now by Noppon 2 Wimpy to hold biter.
Everyone jumped for happy when introduced.
Ricky discovered the gunberry weapon?
Ricky is a man of many talents, huh? A true hero pon indeed.
Dadapon say he get idea for making into weapon from Homprom gun.
Inspired by a Hom's gun. Ah, Charla's ether rifle then. Though if he was going to make weapons, I would have been happy to help him out.
How about if Shulk give Kino pointers? Kino still not always hit target.
Pointers, eh? From what I saw, though, it seemed like you knew your stuff.
Kino also thinks so, but still sometimes miss.
Right. Then maybe you'd best learn how to properly handle the weapon.
That would usually help.
Properly how?
Am I right to assume you've never really had proper training?
No, Donnie. Ricky was ejected from the village to go on wacky adventures with Shulk.
How is Shulk knowing of that? Kino, state of shock.
I reckon the weapon's more beat up than it should be. You don't want that. More prone to malfunctions.
What Kino should do?
It's important to be as careful as possible. Handle it too roughly, and you could end up warping the grip. If the aim is a little off, it could potentially be because of that.
How Shulk knows such things? Kino never figure out in a million years.
Are these upgrades gonna be like material things that happen in the game, or is this just a characterization moment? I figure that. We've never gotten a reward from a heart-to-heart before, but it would be interesting if, like, after this, like, Kino's rifle got better or something.
I've always liked tinkering with weapons. Even made my friend Ryan's weapon, in fact. That'll be why. If you need a weapon maintained, I'm your guy.
Shook really second most awesome after Dapon. Tell Kino more.
All right. But for now, let's reinforce this to help with your aim. In return, could you perhaps share some more stories?
Kino like that deal.
Why does everyone doubt Ricky's parenthoodness? Kinda weird, TBH. If Dunban were here, he would have no doubts at this point. Dunban was the single one who was actually exposed to any level of Ricky's, like, epic fatherly wisdom. Weird retrofit for the canon, like with Ricky. No one ever questioned the non-metal weapon? I mean, maybe, I never questioned it, at least. I guess if that was weird in canon, it would make sense for them to be like, hey, that. I suppose it is a teensy bit odd for Shulk to just kind of be like, oh yeah, no, he didn't do that, did he? Anyway, do I have other places I should go? In the daytime, I need to, in clear weather, I need to go to somewhere, I don't remember. I need to kill a bunch of skeeters. Let's check. Priority 1-1. Whoa, I got a couple things. New way of life. Ask Thad and Grandel to prepare the dessert. Investigate airship in vicinity of Alchemost's main entrance. Give Hoverstone. Okay, there's a couple things I need to turn in here. Priority 1-1. Get back memo from the Cut Purse Igna north of Clear Sky Bluff. Now, where was that? That's way over here. Okay, we'll go for that. Since it's night, and that means I can't do the Skeeter quest. It's not as if this game has an extremely easy to use, with no stakes whatsoever, mechanic in which you can change the time of day. Not at all. Oh, this is the area where I was assaulted by a bunch of Hodes. Will this be the case here again? I understand why this epilogue's trying to flesh out Ricky into more of a character since in the base game he was mostly a kind of comic relief character. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. It is a little weird that they specifically do so indirectly. Oh, I'm Kino. Oh no. That's a problem. But this fight seems easier now, so. I have to do healing. I'm sorry, this just isn't a fun... See, okay. I already, like, I have had my criticisms of Charla's playstyle. Largely that, like, her talent art is a bad thing. Like, she has to constantly cool off her rifle and things like that. But also, in general, she's just... I don't like playing healer characters, usually. I'm not doing anything in this fight. It's kind of sad. Also, yeah, these take a while to cool off. These arts. So I'm seeing why the AI was not exactly on top of healing everyone. I'm glad that I'm finally getting through this fight that gave me a bunch of trouble earlier. Playing as a character who is not involved in the fight, essentially. Of course.
But we cannot be reckless.
Piece of cake!
Lots of things have been grabbled. Okay. let's go ahead and switch the party immediately. I'm sorry, Kino. Like, I want to give him the time of day, but like, I'm sorry, it's not very fun to play as. You can't just hand me Charlotte clone and be like, yep, do this. Marquis Odesh. Way up there. Tabula Morluga, Barbaro Igna. What am I having to do here? I have to get something from the... Oh god. Alright, we're about to be bombarded by a billion things. Cut Purse Igna, that's what it was. Hello everyone. How are we? No, we've got a billion of... I'm dead already? How did that happen? Yeah, we may need the... We may need Eno in the party. Oh my god, why is this so bad already? This isn't good. This is real bad. I haven't even been able to build up my party gauge. Not my party gauge, my talent gauge. Spent a billion years trying to get Minato Buster solely so that I could, use... Solely because they were all in a group. Fuck. Fuck. Words are hard to say whenever I'm focusing on this losing battle. Wow, that was terrible. That was awful. One of the quickest deaths I've had in this so far, which is terrible. Not happy with that because takes a long time to walk too. We gotta fight all those Hodes again. I'm betting just a little bit to the northwest of here that that part that my camera's pointed at. I don't know how to describe that on the map. That up there, probably a landmark, so maybe I should check that out. Look, a bunch of Hodes again. Wow. Oh, I was gonna use Daze, didn't do anything. But it's dead already, so that's fine. There's a billion things here, let's use Buster. I have no idea what's happening. There's so many Napon. I cannot tell who is where. I'm dead, though. Don't know how that happened. Is this the last one in the fight? Yes. Oh, thank God. Who is attacking? One Hode.
Let us hurry onward.
Okay, that's down. What is that green, like, aura thing that is happening at the end of the fights? Are you seeing that? Like, I'm just surrounded with this green graphic that I can't really... that I don't know what it means. Yeah, this spiral here might be a landmark. Gonna certainly hope so. This was about to go, alert someone. Let's hope that doesn't just happen by nature of it being alerted. And that killing this early actually nips something in the bud. Okay, it looks like it. Amos or Luga. Can I ignore these? I don't want to deal with these. I just want to walk up here. Give me that landmark. Perceptive Kenops. Uh-huh. No landmark. Please. Please, video game. I don't want to have to walk all this way over and over. Okay. We'll kill the unique monster. Where are we on time? 3:15? Certainly feels like last I checked the time it was 2:20. Oh my god. Okay. I guess we'll finish this quest and then that'll be it. Wow. We are over time by far more than I would have expected. I hate how the daze effect is done through extra chance. Okay, cool. This is the second time this has happened. Interesting thing is that the extra chance always takes the form of the animation's different. The first animation will always include only one character, like leading the Pawn Spectre charge, and then after that, if you get an extra chance, it's the whole party, which is neat. Even ones who aren't in the fight. Anyway, this fight is going really well. So we got lucky there at the start. Alright, this is down. That was easy. That was refreshing. That fight was like a nice drink of water. Nice drink of Dasani bottled flavored water. Specifically the grape flavor. Hey fucko. Hey fucko, please don't. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. It's gonna do that. I mean, by the time we got to it, it was already bad. Oh, I was gonna switch. Oh my god, I was gonna switch Kino in. What the fuck am I doing? Okay, I've certainly toppled something. Oh god, one of them used lock on, so I'm stuck on this one. Wow, this is hard. This is rough. I'm gonna use Union Strike, and I'm gonna do the unthinkable and heal myself. God, that was disorienting. Did that kill everything except this one? Oh my god. Well, that ended the fight, like, near instantly. Okay, we've got this, got the unique monster, but, like, now that it's alone, this will be fine. Wow. Still prefer chain attacks to the Union Strike, but God, it can be powerful. And that was the heal move, not even the major damage move. Alright, it's been dazed for a bit, and we're very close. Alright, we've got it. Cool. That fight went remarkably easier. And it was completely down to that Union Strike. The things that this game makes me just casually say. Thank God for unions. This game picked a very odd odd way to express its pro-union message. Listen, I agree with the themes, but the way they are expressed is very muddled. Very unorthodox. Anyway, this is the thing I'm here to kill, and it's on its own now, so we will be fine. Yeah, this time we'll just do major damage. Why is this group of Nopon just able to tame random bits of wildlife for use in these fights? Somebody's memo. Okay, well that's for Chief 1-1, who is the final Ponspector. So, I want to go further. I want to go further, but I do specifically try to keep to a certain 3-hour time limit. There are reasons for this, so I will turn in these 2 quests, and then that'll be it for the night. Hello. What was the one? What did you need? I don't even remember.
Hey.
Hoverstone. That's right. I don't really want to stay here forever, but it'll be nice to make the place that little bit more tolerable in the meantime. For another thing, it seems to me to be a good deed to leave it neater than we found it, not all tumble down and derelict. I'm sure the people who once lived here would hate to think of their old homes as overgrown piles of rubble, too. In any case, the area should be getting a lot nicer very soon, and it's all thanks to you. I really appreciate it. Cool. Way to get Hoverstone so that she could lift up pieces of the rubble. Because that's a thing in this game. Apparently. And then let's just skip travel. Chief 1-1, we found him. The 12th and final Ponspector, which is, I think, a pretty good note to end on. Hello. Memo is back safely in hands. Best news. Now finally can set sights on true gold. Oh wait, I was giving him this voice. I'm the Ponspector Chief. Friends not only lead Ponspectors here, but also bring back lost Memo. As reward, we'll let friends in on secret. True purpose of Ponspector mission. Oh, I thought he was gonna finish that as a sentence. But no, that was just like a sentence fragment. True purpose of Ponspector mission. Strength up gem. Now to reveal objective of Ponspectors. Drum roll, please. Ready. Okay. Objective is to obtain thing which mentioned in memo. But what is thing? And also, pretty sure we already Ponspect everywhere. It's shockingly close to Jet the Hawk. Nonona have pierced veil through occult rites to obtain true lore concerning relics that hide on Bionis' shoulder for eons. So there really is treasure? It not myth? That mean nest egg of Hikasa so unlawfully seized will be returned? Yeah, what is treasure in actual fact? This is like calling back to all of their quest lines, and I don't remember several. Oh dear, did 1-1 again forget to announce? Treasure is, ready for it, is foodstuff of ancients, fungus aureus, in modern lingo translate to golden shroom. Not to worry, Noggin. If Ponspectors find golden shroom trove, return borrowed fund will be easy as measure of slope. Okay, that is a surveying thing, not like slope on a line. It's like, it'll be as easy as isolating M. So this was mentioned earlier in a grand total of one of the Ponspector quest lines. The Chief 1-1 dipped into everyone's pension fund to finance this project, and he justified this by saying, but we're gonna find treasure. You'll all make even more than was in your pension fund. He's fucking ripped out of their pension fund. Like you do. Like you do. This is the importance of unions, folks. Something not add up here. FIFA get weird feeling from all the fungus talk. Chief, FIFA think maybe there's still more that needs saying, eh? Why not we go over things one more time from top? Nah. 1-1 feel called out. But okay, 1-1 talk everyone through it. For begin, 1-1 discover memo in Archaeology Center archives which give location of Golden Shroom store place. FIFA knew it! Was Chief himself that wrecked Archaeology Center like our Dune in Pollen Orb Kitchen! 1-1 just trip over some boxes. And anyway, back to subject. In detail, that unfortunate location on memo suffer lack of exactitude and precisionful coordinates. That why needed to combine data from all Ponspector surveys and use to dodecangulate. It's like triangulate, but 12. Hiding place of prize. If no location, then better spill quick. Hearing about Golden Shroom is making Hikaza woozy with want. Then listen up. Golden Shrooms. They sleep in ruins at the very deepest end of Nerthus Necropolis. That's the place that I've been to that's like at the very far left of the map, I think. Westernmost. Meh? Tay-Tay Ponspec Necropolis up and down. Was no ruins in back, else Tay-Tay would have found. But of course Tay-Tay not find. Entrance to ruins hidden with ingenious contraption in Necropolis. Very advanced. While everyone work on retrieve memo, 1-1 solved mystery of riddle and now ruins are accessible as leisure pool. I have known a glimpse the way path. Finally time is nigh as never before. Well, that's just wonderful. Hikaza, I have to admit, was almost ready to report Chief on account of ineptitude. 1-1 have to say, when memo's stolen, 1-1 have panic moment if someone swipe Golden Shrooms from under nose. Luckily, not have to worry about that. When we claim Golden Shrooms, all hard work rewarded in full and then some. Even Archaeology Center surely forgive. As for friends, pleased to escort 1-1 and rest of Ponspector team until can recover prize from Nerthus Necropolis. Naturally, we more than happy to share Golden Shrooms as reward for services rendered so far. When friends ready, then light is green for go for spot of treasure hunting fun. So we got a big ol' quest now that we have all the Ponspectors. Search for the treasure in the ruins at the back of Nerthus Necropolis. Had to briefly leave because stream crashed on my end. Oh no! But I'm gonna head off on account of being exhausted beyond belief. Good night, Cam, and also chat. Okay, good night, Donnie. We are about to stop anyway. After that big ol' long cutscene for a big ol' long quest. I don't know if the quest will be long. Ponspectors till we cry. Not till we die. Search for treasure in the ruins at the back of Nerthus Necropolis. Way over here, which I've tried to go to and failed, because... Oh, isn't that the spot with, like, level 90 enemies? Oh, no. Oh, no. Anyway, we've got a couple lingering quests, I think. Hold on, category current. Fixing up the junks, investigate airship. That's not, ask Thad and Grandel to prepare the dessert. Okay, so I think at the start of next stream, we will focus on doing these remaining 4 quests. Ponspectors Till We Cry recommends level 78. Where are we? 76. I did not think it was 78. Okay, so maybe we should hold off on that one. We'll focus on the other 3 quests, because one of them will involve going up toward Alchemoth anyway. So I think next time, we're gonna wrap up a couple things, but then hopefully very quickly head out to Sultan Arseal Island to try and make our way back into Alchemoth. Thank you, pals, for joining me. We'll do all that next time on Xenoblade Chronicles. I already said the thing. Wow, I'm bad at outros. It's like, Generally, I think I'm a pretty decent, good streamer, good at holding people's attention. I would hope so, but God, my outros are awful. I need to like literally leave notes for myself and be like, stop repeating yourself and stop going on tangents. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you pals next time, which will be Monday. Tomorrow's Sunday, my day off. Monday, we will be continuing Future Connected, and if 12 hours is accurate, potentially finishing it. We'll see. I don't know. We did get all 12 Pawn Specters. The end is near. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully, I'll see you pals then. Good night, everyone. Oh no. It seems Chief 1-1 piss bed.